back to the bottom, 6 to go.
Makes a mistake again. He missed a shift. He's going to spin to the inside turn. He's going to take the lead.
Eli Hinton just got used up there in the hairpin. He's going to pick up a win after a long winless streak in Visit Victory Lane. And the whole field just needs to get himself slowed down, hop these curves, up and over. There's that cannon running a tad wide. Great restart here for the 2 car, but also for the 48. He crosses him over, down into turn 1, there goes the tail. Here comes the 20 alongside. The 13 car gets turned. He's going to spin in turn 2.
A few races ago, the Outsider Racing League visited California Speedway in Fontana, California. The race there was wild. We saw 2, 3, and 4 wide action at the high banks there, but Finian, they weren't really all that high. 14 degrees, 18 degrees here at Michigan Speedway. Hello, welcome to SimTV, and we're here at Michigan for round number 8 of the 2019 Outsider Racing League Championship, and that 4 degrees of banking, Finian, going to make a heck of a lot of difference. We start this race tonight. What we saw in practice is what the race is going to look like. You guys are in for a good show.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see a lot better racing than what was provided at Auto Club due to the difference in banking, 4-degree difference, as you said. And also, this surface is very new. This surface is only, I think, 2 or 3 years old from the scan. So it's an extremely new surface compared to Auto Club, which is fairly worn out. These guys are able to carry a lot more speed and race pretty much in a pack. So we're going to see Daytona-style racing here.
Yeah, Daytona-style racing, maybe. I would even venture to say it's crazier than Daytona. Because at Daytona, you know you can just plant that throttle on the floor and just drive around the racetrack, and you've got room to play with. And the room isn't the problem here tonight, Finian. It's the fact that once the tires begin to wear out, you're going to have to lift that throttle. And this is a much more line-sensitive racetrack than Daytona is, and also California. Even California, you can search around the racetrack. Michigan, it seems it's top or bottom. The middle's kind of a no-man's land here at Michigan, so we'll see how drivers handle this night. A couple new guys in the field. Cody Wright in the number 38 Chevrolet Camaro. He's one of the new people here this evening, trying to make a name for himself. Brendan Bowers in 31 made his first start last week at Richmond in that TRD Toyota Camry, the number 31 Camry. He's sitting on pit road waiting to take his lap. How about Austin Carpe in the number 9, the Clover machine? And also a new driver in this field. We're about 27 strong here this evening, so good car counts, Finney. But what that means is dirty air are going to be a big factor, especially once those tires start to wear out.
Indeed. Also, that's a very nice looking car, I must say, too. So he's going around turn 3 and 4. We'll see where he ends up on the timesheets. Expect, again, with its package, expect the times to be very close here. Guys separated by thousands.
Wow. Look at how close he got to the outside wall in turns 3 and 4. Just inches off that as he comes down to complete his first of 2 laps. Let's see where it's going to put him. This isn't the one to look at here, Finney, because that was really just a warm-up lap to carry the momentum. He's qualifying like a super speedway, and that's really how you have to do it here to find speed. Now he's going to drop to the inside lane to complete the rest of the lap.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are going to make their faster lap on the second lap. The first lap pretty much just going to be a banker lap, just getting the car up to speed and building up the momentum.
Off into turn number 3. Again, we mentioned how it's 18 degrees of banking, and that 4-degree difference between here and Fontana going to mean all the world as he drops to the inside in 3 and 4 and tracks out to the outside fence. And then now you're going to pull it down. You're going to use the apron here. Take the shortcut right across the Geico restart zone, across the line. Where does Carpe qualify for his first start here? For now, it's going to be P3. We'll see if he can hang on to it as the rest of the field comes across. He's going to shut the motor off. Across the line.
Yeah, Cody Wright, currently in the 38, he's going to hold on to provisional pole, still waiting for guys to put down times.
Jeff Wright is working his way around right now. He's won a couple times so far this season. Let's take a look at our point standings coming into tonight's race as we shuffle back to the first page here. We'll take a look. Mark Emerson, 2 wins, 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s of the 7 races so far. Then Jeff Wright, we were just talking about him, sitting in second. Rona's third, tied with Bailey Turner. Eli Hinton sitting in 5th at the moment. Alec Martinez, we're going to talk to him in just a moment. He is sitting in 6th place. Butler 7th, Lakatos 8th, Cabot 9th, Jeremiah Vincent 10th. Remember, Adam Cabot just recently got his first victory in the Cup Series back last week at Richmond. But a couple weeks ago at Kansas Speedway, that is where Alec Martinez managed to get his first victory this season, and we're going to talk to him here in just a second.
Yeah, Eli has.
Oh, hey, Alec, we're sorry to pull you from your conversation there, buddy, but welcome to Michigan. It's round number 8. You got a victory so far this season, but going to be an interesting one tonight, Alec. I mean, we saw lots of almost restrictor plate style racing in practice. How do you think it's going to change for the race? Is it going to be more of the same, you think?
No. I think they're gonna. The only thing that's gonna change is gonna be, I think the groove's probably gonna change where you can't run side by side as much. You know, I don't know. As the tires start to wear into the track, you know, the track's getting cooler, so I don't know. It could change either ways. So, you know, we're going to go on to this race. It's probably going to be Daytona Talladega-like, kind of, but just, you know, more aero-dependent. So we'll see. There's going to be a lot of daring moves, a lot of crazy moves for sure. So I think the people watching it are going to like this race. It's going to be an interesting one to watch. So.
In terms of preserving how you're doing in the standings, I think you're P6. We were just looking at it. You come in tonight being a bit protective, or are you just going all out for the win and try to score yourself another victory?
I don't know. We're going to have to find out. I mean, it's, you know, this race could be a crash fest, and then you just have to pace yourself, and you can put yourself in a position to win. Or if it's not a crash fest, you just try to make up as many spots as you can. So, I don't know. We're just going to have to see how the dice rolls, and, you know, we'll go with it. It would be nice to win, so we'll see what happens.
All right, Alec, thanks for talking to us. Good luck. That's a gorgeous paint scheme you got on the car. We'll see you in victory lane, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, that was Alec Martinez, who won a couple weeks ago. And there's something that's changed the last couple weeks. I mean, he made so many mistakes at the beginning part of the season, but not many in recent weeks. And there's something that's changed inside that cockpit, and I think it's the confidence after winning his first race of the season. And looking forward to seeing how he does tonight. Look at the field lined up on pit road, Finney. This is a gorgeous sight. I love this, as they're lined up, ready to go racing for 110 laps, Finney, and that's 220 miles. It's a long way, but I trust that it's not going to get very boring. It's going to be quite the night to watch these guys go at it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's going to be very in stark contrast to the race yesterday for VRL for the Xfinity cars here, where they're pretty single file, some double file action here and there, but mostly single file for most of the race. Here, these guys are going to be constantly side by side at the very least, if not 3-4 wide.
Field rolling off to start their pace lap. Of course, Cody Wright in that number 38, the first one. This is his first race. He's going to win pole here, Finney, and that's a statement. We'll see if he can hang on. Let's take a look at your starting lineup here. You're saying?
No, I was going to say the 15 car's got an Avengers paint scheme on.
That's a nice looking car. Alex Bell, that's who we're talking about. He's starting in that second spot. Then right behind him in third is Mark Emerson, the points leader. Austin Carpe, the other new driver. Both new drivers starting inside the first two rows. Sitting in fourth for the start of this one tonight. Bailey Turner, fifth. Jeff Wright, sixth. Yeah, we'll let the rest of that scroll on the bottom of your screen, Finian, but I don't even know what to expect. It's going to be a wild one for sure, though.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of patience. Also there, I see Chris Stouffer, a solid qualifying for him in 7th place. He's been kind of struggling this season outside of the top 10. Here he is in the top 10, with potentially having a good run.
Let's take a look at our track conditions here tonight. 76 in the air, 99 on the track, and now 99 really isn't all that hot, so the grip level is high. Remember, this pavement is only a couple years old, so that means that the corner speeds are going to be high, the straightaway speeds even higher, and even with this high drag package, they'll be pulling close to 185 down the front straightaway, and pretty much not changing their speed through turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's going to be an interesting one. We saw a pretty crazy race at Kansas, but I don't think we've seen anything like what we're about to see here tonight. Pace car rolling out of turn number 3 and 4, pulls off into the pits as Cody Wright in that number 38 Camaro is going to lead them down the Geico restart zone. Green flag flies. We're racing here in Michigan.
Oh, and a bit of wheel spin there. You see guys already starting to get 3 wide as we head off into turn 1. There you see to the inside there. Third car in line, can't see who it is. I think Bailey Turner goes to the inside.
And I don't know if patience is in these guys' heads just yet here, Finney. We're 3 wide already. The 38 drops to the way outside lane. As who's that? Bailey Turner just drives right on through. Emerson slides up in front of the 38. A disastrous start for the new guy in the outside lane. We're 3 wide on the back straight. That's Alex Bell up the middle with the number 13 of Eli Hinton. Bailey Turner drops the middle to block their advance from the 15. There's Jeremiah Vincent in the 8 car moving on the bottom, following Chris Stouffer back to the lead.
Look at this, 3 wide, several rows on deep as they come off of 4, and the race is on there. You see Stouffer now trying to fight to lead a lap.
2 and 3 wide. I don't think we're going to calm down much after this here, Finney. And 3 wide, and that's the 8 car in the middle. There's Jeremiah Vincent. He needs to make a statement. We tried to go 4 wide, but he thought better of it. Is he going to try to shoot that gap here up the middle? Here comes the 8 of Jeremiah Vincent.
This is some crazy stuff going on. Jeremiah Vincent trying to shoot the hole. Turner's going to close him off. Now Vincent's going to look down towards the inside. There you see a lot of shuffling on backwards.
Yeah, shuffling just like you'd see at a restrictor plate track. Sparks flying there. The 38 started on pole. He's 9th right now. Butler looking for that spot, but side by side for the lead in 3 and 4. Vincent to the bottom. Turner to the top. Here comes Alex Bell on the outside alongside Christopher as they try to single file out.
Whoa!
Blocked by the 8 car. 24 drops to the inside.
Almost spun himself out there. He made such a hard turn trying to get to the inside of Vincent. There you see Emerson now looking to the outside of Vincent. They're going to be 3 wide heading up into 1. You're going to hear us sing that a lot.
Single file behind them, but for the lead, they were 3 wide for a moment. Now it's Emerson looking for second on the outside lane. He's going to have a great run on the outside. Here he comes. He's going to try to fit it up the outside. No hole there. He's going to push the 8 car down the back straightaway.
Yeah, he's got caution out behind him.
And who is it? It's Adam Cabot. Nope, it's not Adam Cabot. It's Elliot Butler. He's crashed on the back straight.
Oh, and I think some other smoke. I think someone else got involved.
Trying to see where else.
Oh,
I see
not.
Cody Wright back here. He's all the way. Oh, yeah, he was involved for sure. And from first crashed here early in the going at Michigan. Things are not going the way Cody Wright needed them to go to have a good first debut here. Let's take a look at what happened.
I think I can kind of tell what happened. There you see the 38.
I wonder if he just drifts up. The 13 car comes up the racetrack. Oh, the 6 and 38 just get together and tangle on the back straight. And cause quite significant damage to the back of that 6 car. That's a pretty hard hit there. Right on board now with 38 and see what he saw. Let's right on board the roll bar here. You're not going to be able to see a whole lot, which is kind of the point here. I think he might have just thought, oh, they just bad timing.
Yeah, I think he was probably trying to clear himself in behind the 6 and was hoping that he would get a better run off the corner.
We'll get a really good look from the back of the 13 car here in a moment.
I think he just mistimed it.
Yeah, just bad timing. They just get tangled. But obviously, the 38 did not do that on purpose. He damaged his car probably more significantly than the 6 got. I mean, that front-end damage is going to really hurt that 38's performance here tonight. But are we going to see pit stops? I imagine, Finian, the grip level's this high. You're going to want to pit every time. But a couple of guys said, nope, we're going to not do that. And one of those guys was Robert Gaba. He might be the only one to do that.
Yeah, I would say also, especially considering the fact that it seems fairly easy to pass people, you should, through some good maneuvering, you should be able to move yourself up. I think even if you were to pit, you should be able to move up quite a few spots after a restart. So,
well, another guy stayed out. Chris Parkman in the number 19 stays out on the racetrack. Alex Bell is in. A decent start for him. But Mark Emerson, Bailey Turner, and a couple other drivers, including Chris Stouffer and Jeremiah Vincent, were making crazy moves on the initial start. There's Eli Hinton popping out.
Yeah, that was a quick stop.
2 tires for Emerson and Hinton. And the rest of the field's going to be taking 4, it looks like. So Emerson and Hinton on 2, everyone else on 4. I'm on board with the 2-tire stop here, Finn.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't think that's bad either. Again, you gotta want to keep an eye on those the tire wear on throughout the night. But yeah, considering these guys only ran 2-3 laps, take just 2 tires, take some right side tire. That's a pretty good call for track position.
I think track position is going to matter a lot because, as we always say, cautions breed cautions, Finian. And I don't think being in the middle of the pack is a very safe place to be. Not just because it's tighter back there, but just because it's so hard to miss something because you have to avoid drivers in front of you and the ones from behind you to not get run over. So maybe being out front is a bit safer. So Hinton and Emerson, Emerson didn't really gain very much with that. He was pretty much right around where he was. So I'm not sure if that was very beneficial for the 22, but for the 13, that was a pretty good call because he was mired back about 10th or so. So this is a good advance forward for that number 13 Sim Motorsports Camry. And here comes the 19 and the 75. They were trying to lead a lap, but the 75 got those points. Now they'll both come to pit lane.
Yeah, I think they probably figured more people would stay out, but it didn't seem to be the case. I guess to not get caught out, they're going to come down to the pits. And so everyone's going to have tires. Top 2 only going to have 2 tires. I don't think that should be a huge factor considering the few laps we ran, but you never know. But what I'm really curious about is on that restart, I wasn't sure if it was just from the leaders getting a poor start or the guys behind them getting a better start. We saw Bailey Turner, he jumped out of line, was able to take the lead within a few corners. So I'm kind of curious how the guys behind the leaders are kind of just a sitting duck on the restarts.
Yeah, here's the other thing I'm worried about, Finian, is Angelo Ronis, 5 laps down. So he just turned a lap and then pulled into the pit. So not sure what happened to the 29, but he's done for the night, it looks like.
Yeah, at least there's 27 cars left, all of them on the lead lap and running.
Interesting pace car choice this week.
I mean, oh yeah.
NASCAR's got a new roof sponsorship. RT12 with the Cup Series confirmed. Try putting that on a stock car body to make the Supra look pretty. All right, well, lap 6 already. So we had a caution about 2 laps in, Finian. 110 laps in this event, and I don't think we're going to see really anybody calm down. I mean, this is going to be an all-out sprint race. There's no point in saving because, you know, it's all going to be draft tonight. And if you lose that draft, you're going to be in trouble. And I think we saw this a lot in the test races that they ran in California back a couple months ago, that the lead pack really pulls away. And the problem is everyone can race so close, but it's difficult to make passes. But that was at Fontana, where the track surface is about 20 years old. Yeah. Here, it's only a couple years old. The grip level's higher. You can do more moves. The question is, with that higher corner speed, it just amplifies your mistakes. As soon as you make a mistake, you're going to find yourself in the fence.
Good light should be off on the pace car this time by, so everyone's going to double foul. We're going to get ready to go back at it again. But yeah, these guys kept it, other than that one incident, these guys actually kept it pretty clean and relatively calm. I mean, they were going 3 wide here.
I don't know if I'd call it calm. It was clean.
Yeah, they were giving each other room. There was no real nail bite. Actually,
yeah, the whole thing. I got no nails left. It was only 2 laps, Finny. We're going to eat my fingers off by the time we're done with this.
There wasn't anything too sketchy, at least behind them. For the leaders, it was a little iffy, but behind them, they were relatively sorted out three wide. So I think that's a good thing, too, the fact that guys aren't constantly rubbing up on each other.
Okay, so we're going to restart on lap number 8 here of 110. So we have 102 laps, so 103 laps to go. We take the green flag again. A couple of great paint schemes in this field we have to mention, and one of them was Bailey Turner in that 20. That is a gorgeous-looking Exalta scheme. As a new Exalta scheme, and I prefer this a lot more than the older one. And you mentioned the 15 of Alex Bell.
Yep, Avengers movie coming out this weekend.
Christopher.
Don't spoil it in the chat.
Christopher in the 5, and this scheme would be a lot better with the number font. That's just my personal opinion. Austin Carpe, excuse me. His paint scheme is that's a gorgeous looking car. There's Tim Downey Jr. He's running his normal scheme. The 18 of Alec Martinez we talked about earlier. Look at Jordan Ashland's 27, the Alpine Stars car. All very good looking. Mark Emerson's going to lead them back down to the green flag. Pace car pulls off to the inside lane back to pit road. And 27 cars going to retake the green flag here. And it flies again. We're racing again here. 103 laps to go.
Ooh, Ellington with a very poor start as they come across the line.
Gabba, the back. Tried to go shoot the gap up the outside lane, couldn't get there. There was a couple cars in the way, but already some shuffling. The 22 is going to go to the outside lane. Bailey Turner follows him up there. Hinton drops the 3rd. Now we really get to see how those 2 tires are going to hang on, because Turner in the 24 is on 4, while the 22 and 13 are on 2.
Yeah, let's see. There you see Bailey Turner coming out to the inside. Gets a run on the 22. There you see also Jeremiah Vincent keep it on that 8 car. He's not afraid to make some moves. We've definitely seen him be very defensive.
He's been really aggressive so far tonight. I haven't seen this out of Jeremiah Vincent recently, so he's got a fire lit under him. He drops to the inside. Here he comes 3 wide for the lead again. The 24 of Turner in the middle. The guys that took 2 tires up on the outside lane. Alex Bell trying to push the 24 through to the lead. And Austin Carpe goes to the outside lane now. 2 by 2 by 2. 3 wide at the start-finish line.
You see Emerson getting a nice run on the outside lanes. It's going to be kind of interesting to see which lane is actually better. Is it going to be the inside or is it going to be the outside lane?
I would assume the inside for the first couple laps, but look at the outside. Oh, more caution. Cody Wright in the 38 again.
Oh, man.
And this
tough break.
Just gone bad to worse for him.
Yeah.
Can't help but think that damage
that's good.
Probably contributed to that, but that's going to be terminal there.
Right over for him after starting on pole.
Oh, he got tagged in this one. This is the 11 of Eddie Trejo back here. Let's take a look from up above as they head down into turn number 1. 38 turns into the corner, but the 11 just never really turned in here, Finian. I think I big
Gabba.
And that Gabba had pit earlier after staying out of the racetrack, and this is what I talked about, the track positioning being so important, and Gabba's car is destroyed. That's a real shame. Not that he did wrong here, he's just an innocent victim. But I think this is on the 11. I mean, I know the 38 turned in, but I think there's some expectation that the 11 has to make the corner eventually.
Yeah, and I think you also these guys should be giving each other just a little bit more room on these opening laps.
Yeah. No doubt the 38 did turn in on him, but at the same time, he's got to,
make the corner.
Forcing someone to use the outside lane this early, probably a poor choice. So caution out for the 2nd time here. I don't think we're going to see pit stops this time through.
Yeah, no, I imagine everyone's going to stay out. I think if you do, that's going to be a very big loss of track position for very little gain.
And we already saw with the 75 that you do that, you're going to be in trouble. So 2 cars severely damaged here early, Gabba and Cody Wright. Now let's check in on the 6 car. of Elliott Butler. See how his damage. His is mostly repaired. That left rear still crinkled up.
We might see him come down. I'm sure he's actually probably happy this caution came out. He has a chance to fix that car up and get it back up to speed.
He does have a bit of nose damage too, but his isn't very bad.
Yeah.
I would be concerned about the 38, but his damage has gotten just recently a lot worse.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he's gonna definitely have required juice. He's gonna
wow.
do soon. Wow, a lot of people on pit road.
Some split strategies here.
Yeah, so a good amount stayed on, a good amount came in.
Yeah, about half the field here.
So, okay, I think that kind of makes sense. So it seems like most of the leaders stayed out, which makes sense. You want to keep your track position, but I guess the guys in the back figured, might as well, since they're back here, might as well come down and get some tires. Got some fuel, too, just in case.
Bailey Turner rides around in the lead right now. We've seen the starts be quite frantic, but we haven't really gotten enough racing under our belt. How do you think the tires are going to wear tonight, Finian? It's a relatively new surface. It's not super hot out there, but these guys are putting a lot of stress on the tires at the speeds they're carrying. What's our tire we're going to be like, you think?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of up in the air because, yeah, with the more banking, they're carrying more speed. It's a newer surface, so it's less abrasive than Auto Club, so it can kind of go either way. I definitely think they'll last longer than Auto Club. That I don't have a doubt in that. Again, the big question is how long, and will they be able to keep up going three wide like this for most of the night?
So let's take another look. Robert Gaba, with that that disaster that he just had on the racetrack, 16th in point standings, he's going to drop quite a bit because he was really close to a lot of these other drivers that are going to have a probably good run tonight. Josiah, Jordan, Zach Halpern, AJ Stravato, all here and running pretty decently at the moment. So it's going to be a struggle for him as we jump on back farther in the field. Bruce Boyer in the 14 was quick in practice and qualifying, sitting 15th right now.
Actually, if you want to turn on another page too, fortunately not. Oh,
first page.
To first page. There you go.
Oh, nope, I missed it. There we go.
All right. There, look at the guy in 8, Casey Lakatos. He's actually in the championship spot. Unfortunately, I don't think he's here tonight.
No, and another driver we're missing, I believe, is Reggie Ortega. So the 2-car not here this evening.
Yeah, and that'll be unfortunate for Lakatos because he just got himself in the championship 8, but is now going to lose a spot. We still have a few more weeks for him to get it back, but potentially he's going to get passed by Cabot and Jeremiah Vincent in behind him.
Cabot has just been on a roll lately. He's running pretty deep in the field right now, 22nd, but coming off a win at Richmond, there's definitely a lot of confidence over in that 77 team, so I'd expect his results to pick up, and you say, how much does that really matter? But
and even Alex Bell, too, in 11th, he's running right now in, where was he? In 4th.
Right now, yeah. But you talk about the confidence, and it's not something to take lightly. I mean, we talked about Alec Martinez. His start of the season was really rough, but he's running very well in the point standings right now. He's turned things around, got himself a victory. I know he's 17th right now, but he's also tends to kind of take things easy. I know he didn't have a great night at Richmond. I think he ended up in a collision there, but it wasn't his fault there. But he starts out in the field late, but he works his way up slowly, methodically, gets himself inside the top 10.
Yeah, out of his 6 starts, he's only finished outside the top 10 twice this season so far. So he's been pretty good up inside the top 10 with his results so far this season, and I imagine he's going to try to keep that up, and I expect to see him towards the front of the field later in the race. Also a guy that's nice, is having a good run tonight. 35 Joshua Banks, saw him making some moves early on in the race.
Yeah, remember last week at Richmond, what was essentially going to win that race and ended up crashing out with about 15 laps to go. So tragedy there for the Joshua Banks car. Jeremiah Vincent, we talked about him being so aggressive early in the going. Something we haven't seen out of the 8 car. I mean, he's not known for being, for laying back and letting other people run all over him, but tonight something's different in that cockpit. He is just putting the car where no one else wants to put it, and he's made up on quite a bit of ground here. So the 8 car in 6th right now. They're starting in 9th, and there's our 1 to green symbol. Lights are off on the pace car.
Wow, that's a massive cloud coming over the track right now. You can see the shadows almost disappearing, and you can see it's also mainly on only the front stretch, not so much on the back straightaway.
Yeah, and I would think that this would typically be a bigger deal, and I would probably make a bigger deal out of it, but I don't really think it's going to affect the racing that much tonight. The grip level is already going to be high. I don't think that the track changing a couple of degrees is really going to throw these guys off all that much, like it would in a place like California or any other low grip race. So the cloud cover is coming over. Let's take a look at our conditions. It's already dropped a degree, but I don't think, unless it's changing by 15 to 20 degrees, probably won't feel it that much in that car. Coming back to the restart. Early predictions here, Finn. We haven't seen very much green flag running at all, but anybody that you think is going to steal this one tonight?
Probably that 24. That opening move he made in the first few laps to take the lead away, that was a really spectacular move he made. And again, this really looks aggressive. Other guys would say probably that 8 car.
Oh, that's what I was going to
Yeah.
choose, is Jeremiah Vincent. I think if he can keep this car up front, he's going to be one to watch. Also, Christopher has been aggressive here early going. He's dropped down the order a bit, but I haven't seen him quite up this high in some time, so he's certainly got something figured out at Michigan. Emerson and Bailey Turner, your leaders, as they roll out of turn number 4. Pace cars to make that hard left back onto the pit lane. It's been a slow start here at Michigan. And they're getting all bunched up at outside lane here, Finian. Careful, careful, careful.
Oh,
Back to the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air.
Yeah, I saw a lot of coordinating going on, but it looks like a pretty clean start. And there you see Turner get just up into the high lane, trying to get a good start ahead of Mark Emerson. As they head off into 1, there's Eli Hinton also with a pretty good start over Mark Emerson. He's going to take away second place.
Hinton again is on those 2 tires, as is the 22. So, oh, look at the 13 all over the quarter panel of the 24. Remember, these guys had issues at Richmond. They crashed each other. So, I don't know if there's any love lost between these two, but they're certainly not going to give each other more room than they need. And Casey Lakatos is in the field here, Finn. He's running 13th in the middle of a 3-wide situation here in the back. Being very quiet and in a different paint scheme than we're used to seeing.
Oops, our bad.
You're bad. I didn't say you. Emerson all over Bailey Turner. Look at this, Finny. They're bump drafting. Here comes the 8 car to the outside lane. 3-wide again. We're going to try 4. Nope, Eli backs out of that. He's going to push the 24. And again, I don't think those two are very friendly with each other at the moment. So off into turn 1. Close quarters here, but the 24 ekes ahead by just a couple feet.
Yeah, they got off to a pretty, they had some interesting scenario happen to them last week at Richmond. Not sure they're still hung up over it, but so far it seems good for them at the moment. There you see Mark Emerson drop back a few spots. Whoa! Gets Banks hits his teammate. Alex Bell ahead of him gives it a little bit of a nudge.
Talk about Chris Stover. How about this? Restarted in 7th. He's up to 4th already with this couple lap green flag run. He's going to have a big run on the 13. Ooh. Whoa! He throws the block there, does Hinton, and gets in line. So single file that outside lane. You talk about the accordion effect here, Fane. How about we do it at 190 miles an hour up into turn 1?
And these guys need to be careful too, because the guys are going to be throwing blocks, trying to cut off momentum. If you're not ready to get on the brakes, or at least get off the throttle, you're going to be turning someone around or get turned around.
Oh, there's going to be a crash. The 14 of Bruce Boyer. He's going to spin.
Oh, whoa! Jeff Wright almost hit him and cautioned back out in the air.
And Boyer spins down the racetrack. Big damage to the rear of that car. I think somehow that was the only car that got significant damage.
Actually, Jeff Wright, he almost got a piece of that. He almost turned into him.
Looks like Alec Martinez got a piece of it as well. Oh, big piece of it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Big damage there for the 18. And bad luck 2 weeks in a row. Okay, so this started with the 14 and the 35. And they were coming up. This is close quarters here, Fan, but I don't know if the 14 knew that the 9 car was to the outside. They just doored each other. And in the checkup behind, Alec Martinez. Oh, Alec Martinez is the one that hit the 14. And Halpern got a piece of it as well. Oh, just hate to see that.
Yeah, and Martinez and Halpern, you know, guys like that, what do you do at that point? You pretty much can't do anything. Yeah, and for a second, Alec couldn't see anything.
And then he just goes back. Boyer was a bit late locking the brakes, and then Halpern got...
Oh, man, and I feel bad for Alec because he made a nudge looking like he was going to go to the apron, but second-guessed himself.
Yeah. Don't really get 2 chances here.
And then Halpern, too.
That's a big hit for the 20. He had just started to turn his luck around these past couple weeks.
Oh, it looks like his steering's messed up as well.
Oh, that car is destroyed. Let's take another look, maybe from on board. The 9 of Austin Carpe. Got a new driver here. I think this all stemmed from the fact that I don't think Boyer knew that they were 3 wide as they exited turn number 2. And you're going to see this mess happen behind 9 car. Oh, he actually got in the fence, too. Well, look at exactly what happened to the 9, and he got involved with him. I think the 35 of Banks got into him. And look at the 16 of Clifton Cockrell. He did an amazing job not being a bigger part of this mess.
Yeah, that was a great reaction time there.
Oh! Now, he did make some contact, but it might have even been net code. I don't see anything on the 16. He did a spectacular job getting that thing mowed down.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. He easily could have put the 9 on the wall and caused a lot more wrecks. But pit stop's underway here, and it looks like Bailey Turner's going to be leading the race off pit road. Whoa! Jeff Wright came out sliding out of his pit stop.
Top pit road, a couple changes. Jeremiah Vincent loses a few spots. But Casey Licata stays out on the racetrack here, Finian, and this is a familiar sight. We've seen this before, and Licata's trying to maybe play some strategy here.
I mean, yeah, either that, I think he might just be leading his lap and going back into the pits. But I mean, that's actually helped him out quite a bit. I mean, again, like we said, he's in 8th right now on the points, and he's constant. I think he's done this every single round. He's stayed out.
I'm pretty sure he has.
He stayed out on an early caution, gotten the point for leading a lap, come back in the pits, got some tires, and then just works his way up to the field and just survives the carnage.
He's playing the points game, and I really like that. I mean, there's something to... Here's the thing. When you race in a series like this, the competition level's so high, and everyone's so close, that you have to scrape...
Oh, wait, is he staying out?
I mean, either way, he's going to come... He's probably going to come down.
He's warming his tires? Staying out?
No, he's coming.
Okay.
No. Now he's just playing with us. Now he's just toying with us. What I was going to say was... The competition's so close that you have to just beat and grind for every point that you can. But when you can do something like this, that you know the race is going to have a bunch of cautions. This is free points, and he's the only one taking advantage of it week in and week out. And he's probably gained a bunch of points this way that no one else has taken advantage of. So Casey Licata is doing very smart driving when it comes to the points game, and that's going to get him into the base here, and it's going to probably. Could help him win a championship if he plays this kind of strategy for the rest of the season.
We'll keep an eye on now how he's going to do if he does indeed stay out, unless he comes back this time through, just because he didn't lead the lap last time through. But, yeah, so in behind Licata, so we got Turner, Hinton, Emerson. Not many changes behind them, I don't think.
No, the starting orders, actually, let's run through here and see what we got. Licata started 19th, Turner started 5th, Hinton 12th to 3rd, Emerson 3rd to 4th, Stouffer 7th to 5th. As we jump down through the field here, Brandon Bowers in the 31, 27th to 9th. Jonathan Cockrell 15th to 11th. Wow, Jordan Ashland 30th to 13th. He's our in-race reporter. We'll talk to him at a later point in the race. Josiah Vincent 25th to 14th. Brandon Gagnon, another relatively new name here, 22nd to 15th. Bravado gained 5 spots here early. Chris Garrett, 24th to 17th. That's a look at that car.
Yeah,
that is a pretty. He's got some damage on it, but. Uh-oh, what was that?
Oh, we're good.
What? I don't know what that was all about.
Was it a Windows notification?
Probably Windows.
Or something?
I don't see
Anyway.
anything popped up. We're good. Anyway, let's go back and look at this gorgeous 57 car. I wish we could get a closer camera on.
Yeah, no, I also wish that, unfortunately, that car has some...
feature.
Yeah, unfortunately, that car has some damage, too.
This is what... Frank Kozlowski's scheme is so boring.
I know, it really
I
sucks.
miss the Kurt Busch
the
with
blue one.
beer, like pouring.
Yeah.
You know, with the gold rims. I love that.
I just miss the blue one. Like the white one would be honestly be fun too if they just gave it something else.
It's just gold, blue, and white. It's just such a good combination. But you need primarily blue, and that's what this car is. It's pretty. Sure. And we talked about the paint scheme game very strong tonight. I don't know what's up, but everyone's gotten their paint scheme game together, all here in Michigan. And it's a home track for the domestic brands here, and we're missing Fords. Not a single Ford in this field.
Yep. All just Camaros and Camrys.
I think once the Mustang comes out, it'll probably change up the diversity a little bit. But all right, Casey Licata's on a strategy game here, Finney. Let's take a look at the lap since they pit, and it's only a 7-lap difference. I imagine that's going to be enough to make a difference in the speed here. But remember, a lot of these were under caution, so Casey might drop a couple spots, but again, points worth it.
Yeah, and honestly, I think he might just try to maybe slowly trickle himself out towards the back here. We'll see what he does. If he tries to keep up there with the guys in the front, it should be interesting.
Bailey Turner on the outside lane. He'll be restarting second with Mark Emerson and Jeremiah Vincent behind him. Behind the 50, it's the 13 of Eli Hinton and the 5 of Chris Stouffer. Back to the Geico restart zone. They're lining up. And look at the launch the 50 car gets. Green flag back in the air.
Yeah, he got a great start, too. Same with Eli Hinton. Stouffer not so much in behind him. There you see Bailey Turner going down in front of Hinton. He's going to secure second place.
I think the inside lane's the place to be for the first couple of corners because at the low speeds you're going, you really want the short way around. There is the 25 of Tim Downey Jr. navigating the midfield here as they rocket their way off of turn 2. Butler rebounding from his early incident, and Turner and Hinton battling for second on the back straight.
So I see Mark Emerson. I think he was thinking going to the inside of Bailey Turner. He's going to sit him behind Eli Hinton for now. Actually, Emerson's been quite comfortable sitting behind that 13 car.
Oh, we're just playing with inches here at this point. Hinton, look at this. He got inches in front, inches behind as they come off of turn 4 to complete lap number 21. The 13's going to try to side draft here as they get to the line. Lakatos leads that lap.
And there comes Emerson now on the outside with Hinton with a big push. Jeremiah Vincent with Turner to the inside, trying to go 3 wide here.
Lakatos is going to use that middle groove, and the 24 is going to get all bogged up. And this is going to create a log jam out of turn number 2. Look at the 8 car dropping to the inside, 3 wide off of 2. And the 48 trying to find a place to go as for the lead, Eli Hinton with a push from Mark Emerson is going to take the lead caution out behind him. And this time it's Clifton Cockrell in the 16.
Whoa! On his roof. Jinx.
And quickly pulls his car. Wow, this is quite the accident here.
Just hit the wall?
We saw this start. I saw these cars jerk around, but I thought they were just making a move. Oh, big. Oh, he ramps up off the nose of the 4 car. What a wreck.
Yeah, that was a weird incident because Cockrell just hit the wall by himself.
Watch this. Wow. Right underneath. Let's ride on board with the 16 car here. This is going to be an interesting ride. Just drive into it?
He drove into the wall.
Oh, this is going to be... Oh, here we go. Oh, that's disorienting to say the least. Get another look for a different angle here. It's going to be hard to find one. Yeah, this should work.
It just comes off the corner and
just almost wonder, I mean...
I wonder if he was thinking...
Wow, look at that car roll.
I'm wondering if he was thinking, because I think the old Michigan doesn't have safer rear on the straightaway. I wonder if he was thinking that maybe he was trying to merge it to the wall.
Perhaps.
That's the only way I could see him doing that, because it was kind of a silly mistake otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really get...
Runner and chopper me?
I guess that'll work. Up above. Unwinds the wheel a bit too early here, and just hits the fence. And then watch this car. It's going to hit the wall, get launched from the 4, then grind along the fence and barrel roll. So much like Matt Kenseth's wreck at Talladega here from a couple, not here, but at Talladega a couple of years ago. And, oh, huge hit to that fence. Saya Vincent had quite the view. And an innocent victim here for sure.
I was going to say, argues a very avoidable wreck, and Vincent is an innocent victim, and his car is going to be severely damaged for the rest of this race.
Silent on board, slow motion 4. That's never something you want to see out your windshield. Ugh.
No, it isn't.
Back around, and that car tumbling against the fence. Already gone. That was probably just out of pure frustration there that left the racetrack so early. But okay, so now that we've had, I think we're up to what, 4 cautions now? Yep, 4 cautions for a total of 10 laps here. And Eli Hinton has gotten his way into the lead, and Brandon Bowers, remember, he started all the way back in 27th up to 2nd, playing some clever strategy here, moving his way up through the field. Good start for these 2 Camrys.
Yeah, we've seen some more split strategy at play here. We're seeing several guys shuffle all about. I see Emerson in 10th, Lakatos in 11th, and Turner in 13th. Those guys definitely came down on pit road.
I've noticed that Joshua Banks in 35, his Walmart Connect internet not cooperating again tonight. I get about the internet, but Joshua Banks has had so much bad luck. Although last week wasn't so much the luck that took him out, it was just a momentary lapse in judgment with the hinge on the throttle pedal finning, and it just sent him into the fence.
Yeah, it was just pushing a little bit too hard and ended up getting the wall, which is really unfortunate because he would have had a great finish regardless in 2nd place. But yeah, that was unfortunate for Banks.
So lap 25 of 110 here. I see Chris Parkman in the number 19 poking his way into the mix. Are we surprised about how things have been going so far here, Finian?
A little bit. I thought it would have been a little bit greener. I mean, and I'm still sticking to that because I think almost all of these wrecks could have been avoidable. Have people just giving each other a little bit more room.
I've noticed that.
It's not. Yeah, it's also been mainly on the straightaways, and these guys could have turned more or turned less in some respects. So
I agree with you. It's not like these are accidents that make sense. They're just. It seems like guys are just running into each other with plenty of room on either side. And in the case of the most recent incident, I mean, we just had the car just drive into the fence. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but it's is it a full movement or something? Like I don't know. on inside these race cars, but gonna take a step back here, and I mean,
yeah, and apparently Mark Emerson. I'm guessing. I don't even. I hope that's not his body temperature in the chat that he's saying.
100 degrees,
100, and he's hitting 102.
Yeah,
I'm gonna assume that's his room temperature.
We talked about. Okay, well, this is room temperature. If we talk about temperatures, though, for 2 seconds, what about the setup of these race cars? You're drafting here, Finian, and you're running these cars at high RPM. Are we concerned about engine temperatures at all?
If you're stuck right in behind someone, I think it might be a bit of concern. Other than that, I don't think so. But I would be kind of surprised because unlike Daytona or Talladega, you get a lot more room here, especially in the corners where you can just kind of ride out just a little bit off the nose of someone else in front of you to get some air to the engine. So I would be kind of surprised we've seen a shit like that, but you never know.
Pulling through turns 1 and 2, we're going to have a Toyota Camry front row here with a pair of Camaros lining up in 3rd and 4th. Then a bunch more rows of Camaros after that. And all the way back
4 rows behind
to
them.
13th place Jeff Wright. And then it's a bunch more Camaros until we get back to Zach Halpern and the 25 of Tim Downey Jr. Some reorganization happening on the back straightaway here. We've lost 1, 2, 3, 4 cars. If you include Angelo Ronis, make that 5. We're down to 23 cars running on the racetrack, and Josiah Vincent and Alec Martinez are back out here just scraping for points at this point.
Yeah, and a tough. I believe Josiah is for Vincent Motorsports. So tough break for both those cars there. Both of them Vincent Motorsports there.
Coming back to the restart here, Chris Stouffer again continuing to impress tonight. That 5 car running quite well. Chris Parkman also up front, and Austin Carpay, the other new guy here, is faring a lot better than the other newbie in the field. Cody Wright won the pole at a great start in terms of all the way everything up until the green flag dropped, and then it was just a nightmare from there. Pace car pulls off once again, and Eli Hinton in the Sim Motorsports 13 Camry. He needs to turn his own luck around these last couple weeks. He's been making plenty of mistakes for everybody, and culminating in a bad wreck last week with him and Bailey Turner. But he leads the field back down to the green flag. We're racing again here at Michigan, and the field scatters between the white line and the fence as they scramble down to turn
and
number 1.
Tim Downey Jr. took a big advantage. Again, you can pass on the outside, so he was trying to make up a ton of spots there as they come through turn 1.
Three wide, there's a 57 of Chris Garrett trying to make up spots through the middle, but up towards the front, there's a 31 of Brandon Bowers on the outside lane, trying to maybe get around 13, but no dice there. Maybe some pushing, maybe some shoving. Here comes the 5 of Chris Stouffer with some help from the 35 of Joshua Banks.
Yeah, I was looking at Adam Cabot and the 9 of Austin Carpay. They were bumping and banging. There you see Parkman, they're getting almost strung up in the middle.
Speaking of the middle, that 31's going to try to shoot up the inside. Oh, there's some shuffling going on, and look at this here, Finney. Are we going to try 4 wide?
I don't know if people heard.
Oh, check out the 22 gets tagged by the 6, and 19, 27, and 22 almost got all the way together, and they're still scrambling for positions through the middle of 1 and 2. Here comes Cabot up the outside lane with Lacontis trying to recover. And
also Bailey Turner also on the outside. That outside lane looks really strong once they have a few cars up in there.
Stouffer takes the lead away from Eli Hinton, drops up in front of him as they make the way down to turn number 3, and Brandon Bowers on the inside lane, bringing a couple other drivers with him as the rest of the field fans out behind.
And actually, Stouffer, they're almost building up a lead off of 4. He gets a great run there. You see Banks now entering the fray in 3rd place.
And some bump drafting going on. This is Talladega.
Yeah.
This is what this is.
Yeah, these guys getting some great runs here. We'll see there you see Jordan Ashland and Mark Emerson heading up to the high side trying to work around.
Hinton takes the lead back away. Stouffer's not done just yet. Side by side off of turn number 2 as they make their way down the back straightaway. Shuffling behind him, that's Jeff Wright in the black car behind the bright yellow Wrangler machine of Chris Parkman. Parkman's dropped quite a ways back on this restart.
Ooh, and Hinton almost getting to Stouffer there, trying to make the pass on the inside.
Oh, that's close quarters, 3 wide out of turn number 4, but Stouffer and Hinton continue to battle door to door as they come across the start-finish line and work over lap number 30. And now the 35 of Banks getting a big shove to the back of Stouffer.
Oh, almost turned him in the corner there. Got really good. Oh, and Hinton and Banks almost making contact.
And some left front damage to that 35 car. Make their way off of turn 2. Hinton not clear, can't pull up. They fit that groove. And just absolute dogfighting out here right now, Finney. No space for anyone to make any wrong moves. And the 35 gets started right in front of the field.
No.
Collects Hinton. Do they slide back up? Yes, they collect more cars. Involved caution out again. And just tragic again for the 35 of Joshua Banks just cannot get any luck these last couple of weeks. And I cannot believe that didn't take out more cars.
Yeah, I was going to say, amazing. It was only relegated to about 4 cars involved in that. Banks, Hinton, it's not a Napa car, but it was...
It's Brennan Gagnon in the 83.
Yeah, he got a piece of it.
How's Hinton's nose here? His car is actually in pretty good shape considering it looked like he was about to be collected. And let's take a look at this, but I think we saw was this the 77 a cabin that got into the back?
I think so.
This could have been so much worse
I think
than
he
it
gets
was.
him in the left rear here.
Just
oh,
he
gets sandwiched.
Yeah, it wasn't on the 77. There was just too many cars pushing here. And the 31 of Bowers gets a bad lick, and the 9 and 25 scraped. But other than that, pretty minor collisions, all things said and done. I mean, that could have been a heck of a lot worse. Here's the 13's situation. He somehow
he did
hung on to that.
Great job saving that car. He also could have easily turned it up into the field and wrecked, but he did a great job saving it.
Just watch this chain reaction. This is what we talk about. We talk about chain reactions here, Finney. Look at this. The 24 and the 77 get together, and that hits the rear of the 5. The 5 gets checked up and just collects everyone else. The nose to tail fashion there in the 9 of Austin Carpay slips on through it. Gaddy's done a great job missing stuff tonight. Here's what is on board.
And again, it's just a matter of slowing down, trying to pick a lane, gets a little bit of contact with Tim Downey Jr., but pretty unharmed.
Both those cars will survive to see another day. Joshua Banks on board. This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, nothing he could do. He was pretty much a passenger that just got sandwiched in between Stouffer and cabin behind him.
So here's the thing, Finney. When you're in that kind of situation, and I'm just speaking from personal experience here, as we got kind of a weird pit stop strategies. We'll check in when it's done. This is more of a restrictor plate thing, but whenever I race at a restrictor plate, Finney, and when I see that there's a gap formed and we're getting these big runs, don't you want to let off the throttle sooner than when you're right there? Because I feel like what we saw there is that the Joshua Banks was flying up, had this big head of steam, and just had nowhere to go with it. And I think you have to be able to gauge that distance and slowly back off the throttle rather than just run into the back of somebody, because it causes those chain reaction incidents we just saw.
Yeah, I would say yes, but I think also these guys are still coming to the terms of just racing like this at Michigan. And I think that's kind of not, because it's different from what you would expect in Michigan. So you're not going to be driving like you would be at a super speedway. That's pretty much what this race has been so far.
It's a different mindset for sure. I mean, again, I think that we have to be able to judge these runs a bit better than we are, because we're going to see a lot more of that, especially when people start to throw blocks later in the night. We're already almost a third of the way through this event. And we don't have very many green flag laps underway, and that's not a good thing, because the more cautions we run, the less people are going to know how their car is going to handle when we do get that inevitable green flag run. So I guess we'll see how it all turns out at the end here. But about 53 minutes of racing remaining. We still have a long way to go.
Yeah, so as you said, still got 2/3 of the race, more than 2/3 of the race still left to go. After quite a lot, I think, what is that, 6 cautions now?
Let's take a look. Oh, wrong graphic. 5 cautions, okay. 14 laps worth of yellow in the 30th run so far. 8 lead changes, and a lot of that has been based on pit strategies here. A couple cars shuffling around. The 13 of Hinton has come in and fixed with the damage he could. Looks like it's driving straight. That nose is okay, but the rear end's all torn to pieces.
Yeah, I think he might come down another time to try to fix up as much damage as he can.
Problem is, I mean, there's probably a certain threshold where you can't fix anymore. It's just you got what you got, you know. Hinton should be okay, but the cars that really are not going to be okay, Josiah Vincent, Brandon Bowers, Alec Martinez, these things are better off in a junkyard than on a racetrack. We're turning Michigan into a junkyard today.
Yeah, we're slowly losing on the cars. There's pretty much only, I would say, 19 cars.
Even the pit box sign for that 57 is gorgeous. Look at that thing.
Yeah, even if you go to Joshua Banks, you know, his car is holding up.
Car's pretty torn to pieces. It's going to be slow if it rolls at all.
So we pretty much only got about 19 competitive cars left,
which is about 8 down from where we were. So it's been quite the bloodbath here early at Michigan. Be expecting the light squad on the pace car this time through. Yeah, they stack back up. So Trejo pulls some pit strategy here. And lights are off this time through.
Yeah, and actually, if you could check, I'm curious what he did, or if he hit at all.
No, he pit 11 laps ago, and everyone else has pit on this most recent sequence, so he's the only driver to try something. Jordan Ashland, who is going to restart this race in second, is the only driver that tried 2 tires. So basically your front row is no pit and 2 tires, and then everyone else is on 4. So I guess we'll see how this rolls here. A lot of racetrack here, Finney. We just got to be able to use all of it without crowding each other.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hopefully, hopefully we can get a nice green flag run in. Otherwise, they're gonna lose more cars, which will be very important because we already lost quite a few very competitive cars.
There's about 4.5 lanes worth of pavement. As long as we give everyone their own lane, we should be good. Austin Carpe, the new driver here this week at Clover number 9. Done a good job dodging Rex. He has a bit of right rear damage, not going to hurt him at all. He also has some right front damage, but that car's still in great shape, especially compared to a lot of cars out on the racetrack right now. It's been a good debut so far. He could easily pull a top 10 or even a top 5 as long as he continues doing what he's doing. So pace car's off again. Eddie Trejo did not pit on this most recent sequence. Jordan Ashland is on 2 tires. Everyone else, Chris Stouffer on back, is on 4. Back to the Geico restart zone. And green flag back in the air, and Trejo's will lead them back down. Some more stack-ups on the inside lane this time, but relatively calm, cool, and collected restart.
Yeah, Trejo gets a good jump out ahead of the rest of the field. You've seen the leader pretty much do every single restart. Ashland, not so much of a good start. He's got Adam Cabot all over him.
Chris Stouffer on the inside. You see peeking out there with the quarter panel. They're fanning out. That's Bailey Turner up the racetrack with Mark Emerson. And those two just can't seem to get away from each other. But side by side for the lead, here comes Jordan Ashland to the inside on those 2 tires. As we're 3 wide with, that's Chris Garrett in the 57 up the middle in the background. And 2 by 2 for the lead off into turn 3.
Let's see how long Eddie Trejo can hold on the bottom with the older tires. You see Ashland looping around the top as well as he's got Adam Cabot in behind him. And here you see also Parkman funneling through.
And now we're building these runs like I just talked about here, Finney. You have to be able to gauge how quickly you're approaching somebody so you can back off and not surprise everyone behind you when you jab on those brakes. Cabot drops to the inside lane and turn number 1 goes for the spot. Chris Stouffer all over the back of Trejo trying to find a gap to work his way through. Emerson looks to the outside. Now there's the 9 of Carpe way down at the white line. And we're about 3 wide in the middle of the pack. That's Jeff Wright. Look at here comes the 19 of Parkman. Where did he come from?
Yeah, he got a big run on Ashland. He's going to dive out towards the inside. Will he be able to make the pass? If he can't make it, Ashland's going to get a huge run off the corner.
Through 3 and 4 to complete lap number 36. Battles all over the racetrack, but for the lead, Chris Parkman's going to lead this lap. And Jordan Ashland has to settle for second for now, but he's not going to settle any longer. Down to the inside lane with help from Cabot. They rocket off into turn 1. The 27 noses ahead. Bailey Turner with help from the 22 on the outside lane. Ashland just cleared the 19 easily, but Parkman's going to drop back to the inside lane. It's going to be so hard for anyone to get and keep an advantage. And Bailey Turner and Mark Emerson, they've been helping each other, been around each other all night long. How much longer will that honeymoon last here as they work their way through 3 and 4?
Yeah, we've seen Turner go up and down through the field. He's always found his way back up. That car looks really strong in the pack. He's able to make so many passes and just move himself up here. Let's see if he can try to get the lead here.
Again, look how close they are nose to tail, though, Finney. It doesn't leave you a whole lot of room for error as they make their way off into turn number 1. Parkman, Ashland, Bailey Turner, the outside lane, and it's Cabot, Stouffer, and Emerson, the inside lane. There's Elliot Butler peeking back into this mix, as well as Jeff Wright back in 8th place.
Not all Butler too, even still with that damage, it's not affecting him at all. That car is all the way up now, up and towards the front, currently in 7th.
It looks so much calmer from inside the cockpits of these cars. Mark Emerson on the inside trying to carry that momentum, can't do it enough, and now we're kind of just caught in these stalemates here at the front of the field here, Finney, and it's almost like tandem drafting at Talladega. You just can't really get a bigger run than anybody else. And now the 22 looks to the inside of Stouffer up into turn 1, 3 wide. This is going to be for the 4th spot.
He's gonna have to give up a lot of momentum. You see him lose that momentum off the corner, and they see Ashland now getting a big run, and Turner's gonna give him a big shove. So I think definitely that outside lane is gonna be the lane you want to be in. If you want to make a pass, you go to the inside in the corner.
Travato making moves back for 9th. Emerson's dropped to 10th the last couple laps. But Parkman continues to lead Cabot, trying to get back to his inside, maybe side draft past. They complete lap number 39.
So far, great run for these guys as Parkman's up in the lead. You have Ashlyn, Cabot, Stouffer, Bailey, Turner all behind them for your top 5.
Elliott Butler's going to take advantage of that open hole in the outside lane. It looks like the outside is the place to go here, Finian.
Yeah.
You can carry more momentum, but the question is, how high can you go? And will drivers experiment rim riding here?
I don't think so. I think that outside lane, toward the wall, I think that's too wide. I think you're just losing way too much speed going up there, or just wasting too much time going up there. So I don't think it's going to be worth it for these guys. But we'll see. Again, if the track gets rubbered up and these guys try to search for more up there.
Parkman's trying to break the draft here, Finian, but I think you just kind of have to accept you're not going to get away from this path.
No, yeah, and I think also it's kind of dangerous too. Swerving like that, it can easily cause a wreck. So you got to be very careful. It's not as easy to do at Daytona when you're at here compared to Daytona and Talladega.
Look at the run Ashlyn gets. That's a 5-mile-an-hour difference. Stouffer to the back of the 77. Look at Cabot's rear bumper. It's all caved in from the previous contact, so you have to keep that in mind. If you go to push people, Finian, if you have damage on those bumpers, you can easily hook somebody around. Side by side for the lead again. Parkman and Cabot out of turn number 4. You're in a dead heat coming to the line. Who's going to lead this lap through? There's a 48 of Jeff Wright popping in, and Parkman leads that lap with help from the 27 and 24. And it's just an absolute draft pack here. And Jeff Wright, I just mentioned him, he's on the inside lane now. And he's going to be 3 wide. This is going to be for the 6th spot.
Yeah, you're going to watch. Ooh.
Oh, no. 6 and 8 get together. There's some scraping in the wall. And now they're just bouncing off each other in the middle of the pack. The 48 of Jeff Wright all the way down to the inside lane. Tries to rejoin the racetrack in turn 3. He does. That was a scary moment.
Someone's there on the apron. Oh, that's
Martinez.
Yeah, that could have been very ugly there. I'm amazed Butler didn't spin out. He was that loose.
Well, it's like pinballs out here at the moment. Parkman continues to lead Ashlyn and Turner pushing and shoving. Cabot trying to hang on to this mix. And the 27 drops to the inside lane. Will try to roll it inside. He's been able to make the pass down there, but can't seem to hold on to it once he gets it. And more lap traffic up ahead here, but it's going to make this interesting.
Yeah, it's going to definitely make it interesting, especially if they don't get out of the way. But still, Parkman up, and now Bailey Turner is up in second place. Is he going to make the pass here?
Yeah, that incident last lap kind of shuffled everybody around and got them all single filed out. So now Cabot's the only one advancing on the inside lane. Some shuffling up the racetrack for Emerson and Ashlyn. Now the first 3 are at least single file with Cabot trying to slot in line. That's Robert Gaba on the inside lane. Well out of the way on the apron. See Stravato and Casey Lakatos making their way into this mix. Now 8th and 9th for those 2 cars. Yeah,
and up to the front Stouffer making a pass on the inside of Bailey Turner. Will he also get Parkman in turn 1?
He's clear of him. The question is, where's that 19 to get the run? He doesn't that time. Bailey Turner gets a whale of a run down the back straightaway, and he's going to get alongside the 5 car by the time they get to turn 3. But can he make the pass here yet, or is he going to slip up mid-corner and lose that momentum? And the 24 is going to try a slide job right up in front of the 5 car out of turn number 4. Stouffer pulls hard down left to the inside lane, right against that white line. Side by side for the lead. Who leads that lap? Stouffer does by an inch. Parkman wants back in this mix.
Yeah, but Parkman isn't done yet. He's caught back up to these guys as well as Cabot. I'm curious on what they're going to do there. You see Jeremiah Vincent there sitting on the inside 3 rows deep. So
the 5 and 24 contact there on a turn 2. And now the runs. Oh, the 8 car tried to pull over in front of Lakatos. Couldn't quite get there in time. And here comes Cabot. Hard left off into turn number 3. He's going to go for the lead spot.
He's going to go for the lead. Will he be able to pass Bailey Turner? He's going to do a slide job. He's going to do a slide job in front of him. Here comes Bailey Turner. What's he going to do? And also behind him, Jordan Ashlyn with a big run off the corner.
Shoving, pushing down the front straightaway. No inches to play with. Look at the 5 car all the way down on the apron. Look at the outside lane now. It's like a freight train up top, and they're not going to stop anytime soon. Wow, this is good stuff. Casey Lakatos in 6th now, flying through the field. He's got nose damage. He doesn't care. He's just going to go for 5th now on the inside of Parkman.
I was going to say, he's doing a great job in that car, slowly moving up toward the front. And I don't think he's really showing any signs of stopping there. You see him merging to the outside lane. They're going to try to freight train around Stouffer.
Slots into line. Not a whole lot of room to play with there. Now the 27 car searching up the racetrack. He's got Parkman on his bumper at the exit of turn 4. Cabot's got the lead now, the most comfortable lead he's had in a couple laps. It's a 1/10 of a second.
Oh, Stouffer tries to bully out Ashlyn in behind.
Whoa, holy cow! Big move to the inside lane. Look at that move. Yeah. Elevator, top to bottom, I'm coming through.
Yeah, Turner did a fake on him, and now he's going to come to the bottom, and Cabot's going to be stuck in second. Here comes Stouffer also trying to make the pass.
All right, out of turn number 2. Cabot's going to have a heck of a run here. Does he do anything with it? Where does the 27 car go now? He looked to the outside lane. There's a car there, buddy. You got to wait your turn. You can make your own turn, which is what these guys have been doing so far tonight. Look at this battle back here. There's the 9 car of Austin Carpe. There's Eli Hinton, Mark Emerson, the 57 Chris Garrett. All these cars have a couple dents on them from battle scars from earlier, but for the lead still, Bailey Turner's going to steal that spot away. Stouffer tries to get clear of the 77, can't quite do it. He's got help from Ashland.
Yeah, he's actually got a great run off of Turner when he dove down low. Now here he comes trying to make a pass on the inside, but will he be able to slot in behind Adam Cabot off the corner?
Oh, close quarters again. The 5 car slipping up on corner exit. That's been the second or third time he's done that. Now the outside lane's got just a draft pack going on. There's the 83 of Brandon Gagnon in 15th place. He's trying to make some moves here. Closing in on the halfway point in about 7 laps as we get back to the line. We're spreading out in the middle of the corner, and it looks like Parkman's going to try to shoot the gap on the outside. Ashland goes to block out of turn 4.
Ashland goes to block, so he's going to pull that outside lane. He's been very comfortable up there, and I'm curious, when is he going to get out there, get out of the outside lane to make a pass?
Cabot was right on the bumper of the 24. Turner had to back off. Here comes Ashland trying to fill the hole in the outside lane. Turner and Cabot chase each other down to the yellow line, and now look at Ashland with the big run out of turn 2. Maybe he'll look on the inside into turn 3.
Actually, honestly, I think he's trying to be able to, he's going to try to pass people on the outside. I think he realizes it's too much of a risk going down there. I think he's going to try to make all of them on the outside lane. So we'll see here. Here he comes.
He's got an opportunity here as the 77 and 24 kind of deal with each other, but Ashland just doesn't get the run through the middle of the corner. But now look at the speed he's going to get on the straightaway here.
Yeah, boxed in now as he's got Stover to his left. Started in 30th, currently up to 4th place. Great run for the 27 so far. Won the race yesterday in VRL in the Xfinity car here, trying to do back-to-back here.
Martinez going another lap down. He's only 1 lap down at the moment, so he's actually making lemonade with what he's got here. And look at Parkman up the outside lane. He snookered Ashland there. He's going to get there. It's Stouffer down to the inside of Cabot on the front straight.
Yeah, if you're not paying attention here, someone can easily go on the outside of you, and you can't do anything about it. So you guys have to be very protective of that outside lane and defend it with their life. Otherwise, you're going to get sent towards the back if you're not careful.
Not a whole lot of room to play with here. Parkman is way up.
Yeah, he's trying the wall. And
he's making it work. I mean, he lost 6 spots there, but
yeah,
I think there's speed to be had if you can do it right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of tough until you lose so much speed in the middle of the corner where guys on the inside are just kind of freight training you on through.
But using less tire though as well.
Yeah, so I think again that's what he's probably setting up for here towards the end, is we're getting a good green flag run in. We'll see how that pays off for the 19 car.
Cabot and Turner nose to tail here out of turn 3 and 4. They've now changed to side by side, and here comes, is that Lakatos on the inside? Where did he come from?
Yeah, he's been very quiet. He's been pretty quiet so far this race. He makes a dive in the corner. Almost gets into Cabot. Jess keeps off him. He's going to lose a lot of momentum off the corner here as you see Stouffer with a big run towards Bailey Turner.
Now Stouffer's got that big momentum right on the bumper of the leader, and this is the same situation we were in before with Banks, although this time not as big of a run there, so they don't have to check up quite as much. Ashland slipping up. He's going to try to fill that hole, but Parkman's going to say no, but he can't quite get there as they slip and touch out of turn number 4.
Yeah, you got to kind of bully yourself in line here if you want to keep your spot. Otherwise, guys are just going to take it if you give them the spot.
This is exhausting.
Yeah, this really is. So currently in this pack, we got about 16 cars. So really, any of those guys have a chance at winning this race as they run.
Closing in on halfway here, about 38 minutes of racing remaining. The 57 of Chris Garrett has found his way all the way up into 3rd. We haven't talked a whole lot about him tonight, other than Parkman's almost in the fence. He pulled off loose some ground. And how about Alex Bell getting his name back up here on the top of the ticker?
He was kind of out of it for a while now. Here he is moving himself up to the front. It's a big check on the outside lane there.
Yeah, Turner's dropped to 3rd in all this. Actually make it 4th as Lakatos steals 2nd away through the mid-corner, and now he's going to have Cabot steal that back on corner exit. And Stouffer takes the lead here. Back to the inside lane.
And Cabot makes a look, and there you see also behind him, Garrett making a look on Lakatos. He backs out of it, but it looks like Cabot's going to take the lead.
Oh, but he slipped. He slipped big time. Here comes Stouffer again to the inside lane. 3 wide for the lead on turn 4.
I imagine that was off the corner for the finish. At the line,
it would be Turner by an inch. Now Ashland going to give a big shove to the 77, but the 5's going to pull up right in front of him. Good thinking on Cabot's part back out of that one this time. Now there's a lap car. That's Gaba on the inside lane. He should be well out of the way. Side by side for third behind him. It's Lakatos and Cabot, and then it's Garrett and Ashland.
Yeah, these guys are slowly getting themselves strung out just a little bit more as the run goes on. We saw them 3x3, 3 wide at the beginning.
Ooh, Stouffer and Turner. Turner wanted to turn in, but Stouffer didn't give him the time of day to do it. Now Cabot's going to be 3 wide. That's a tight fit there. Contact between him and the 57. And now the 77 is going to try to push Lakatos and Alex Bell. They have a 3-car train up the middle.
Yeah, there you see the 27 Ashland giving a push to Turner. Will Lakatos cut him off? Lakatos is trying to defend that inside from Garrett. He's going to defend it. He's going to try to pass Stouffer.
No.
Can't get it done.
He tried to just stuff it in there and make it stick, but Stouffer didn't let him get there. So Christopher's going to continue to lead this race. What a showing by the 5-car tonight, in your opinion. Lakatos slots back in line, and Bailey Turner is just going to have to deal with it for now. He's got nowhere to go. He's boxed in, as is Jordan Ashland.
Oh, Garrett gets in Lakatos.
No! He saves it.
Oh,
he
saves it. Everyone has to check
What
out
a
the lot,
save.
though, but wow.
He's going to lose all the track position, but that was a crash, and I don't know how he didn't just wad up the entire field. What a save by the 50 Lakatos. That was a crash, folks.
Yeah, that car went dead sideways. I think he's lucky that the spoiler is so big on the back that it was able to catch the car in the spin.
This is about as sideways as you ever want to get in a race car. Unless you're Ken Block. Back up front, though, Christopher has actually split the field up quite a bit, 0.7 of a second. But then we're 3 wide here for a moment, and look at Elliott Butler fighting back in this. Oh,
boy.
Cabot's slow mid-corner, and Chris Garrett's got nowhere to go. Alex Bell's going to try to shoot the gap on exit.
Yeah, now I'm really curious on how this is going to play out here with the gaps between some of the cars in the front. Will these guys in behind, will they be able to chase them back down?
Well, everyone ran quicker last time, or at least Bailey Turner did, so I don't think Stouffer's out of the woods just yet. Eli Hinton back in 9th after his early collision with the 35 of Banks.
And there you'll see Joshua Banks going a lap down, or going another lap down.
All right, I think now is a pretty good time for a SimTV sound surge. Well, we still got these guys strung out before it gets crazy at the end. Stay with us. green flag pit stop's almost complete here at Michigan Speedway. Past the halfway point now, and Chris Garrett leads this race, but he still has to make another pit stop or two. I think we have a two-stopper from here, Finian. And Zach Halpern sitting in second, and here comes Chris Garrett onto pit lane. We saw earlier that one driver missed his box. I think it was
Alex Bell.
Alex Bell.
The Stouffer, sorry, not Stouffer. Garrett making his pit stop. And I believe one of the final drivers to do so, actually Zach Halpern also in behind him making his pit stop.
Lead entry for the 57. But for what will eventually be the lead, Jordan Ashland and Cabot, and Eli Hinton has found his way back into this mix as well. Although Hinton pit a couple laps ago, so he's got less good tires. But now that you're in the pack, I don't know how much that's really going to matter. So Hinton playing some strategy. It's gained him a couple spots, but there's a lot to lose here as Emerson all over his bumper. Oh, he gets turned right in front of him, and Emerson dodges him, gets collected. Butler hard into the fence. The 22 car involved, the 24 spinning across the racetrack, and caution out lap number 66. And just like that, two of the points leaders,
yeah, involved in
spun
incidents.
out.
A lot of the points leaders there. A lot of those guys were inside the top 10.
Let's take a look at this. It just gets into the 13 and does everything he could to hang on, and then just nothing these guys could. Oh, Stouffer gets a piece of it as well. Gotta hate it for him. But Hinton, he was on the giving end last week, was on the receiving end today. It's turn.
Tip from Emerson from behind. Yeah, try to do everything you could, but when you're loose at that high rate of speed, there's very little you can do.
5-car Chris Stouffer was having such a good run tonight. Unfortunately, received what I think is pretty decent damage on the nose of this car. It says on board. Eli just did everything he could to try to hang on to it. Stouffer collected big time. I think that's going to be it for Chris Stouffer tonight, unfortunately. Caution out lap number 67. We just had green flag pit stops, so I'm curious to see what pit road's going to look like here, and it's a busy place at the moment. A lot of cars with crash damage coming on through, but other drivers farther back in the field coming in for service.
Yeah, I'm kind of, so yeah, a lot of guys just again fixing this stuff up, and I guess just getting some tires just for the heck of it. They see Stravato coming out of his pit stall as well as some other drivers as they finish their pit stops. Yeah, that kind of messed up a lot of things, although I believe everyone pit, because Halpern and Garrett were just coming out of pit road when the caution came out, so everyone should still be on the same cycle, more or less.
Elliot Butler was having a good night tonight. His car is all torn to shreds too. Caution out, and I think, Finian, it is the 6th time we've had a caution this evening for 15 laps, and we're going to jump to break real quick. We'll be right back in just a moment with the rest of the 2019 Outsider Racing League round number 8 from Michigan. Stay with us. The shadows are growing long here at Michigan Speedway. We're 69 laps through of 110 here for round number 8 of the 2019 Outsider Racing League Championship. It's been a wild one so far, looking a lot more like a Daytona or Talladega race from 2003 than a Michigan race from 2019, but that's the way things are today. Jordan Ashland, your leader right now. Adam Cabot sitting in second. Casey Lakatos, remember he made that incredible save about a dozen laps ago, or maybe 2 dozen laps ago. He, through some strategy and clever driving, has worked his way back up into third. So Lakatos, strong recovery after that almost a huge disaster in turn 4. So we're going to restart lap number 71. And interestingly, Finney and Elliott Butler, who was just in that accident, is scored in 4th, but that is accurate. He'll probably drop down the order here. He's back in pit road receiving service for that crashed car. So, again, Ashland, your current leader. Lakatos in 3rd. And how... Oh, that explains a lot. Okay, we only have 12 cars on the lead lap. Eli Hinton is the last of them, and they're all getting the wave around right now. And Hinton's car a bit more beat up, but he's been involved in 2 collisions tonight, neither of which were his fault. But that most recent one, a lot more damage to the right front of that car.
Well, actually, it looks like that car is in a relatively decent shape. Again, a lot of the real test will be once they fully get up to speed, but he's catching the 8 of Vincent up ahead, so I think that car will still be decent in the draft. But yeah, it's surprising that only 12 cars on the lead lap, so where that caution came out really plays some people out.
Notably, Chris Garrett, who is having a good run tonight. Bailey Turner, another one of those drivers that is 1 lap down, as is Jeff Wright. Alec Martinez, he had a rough night earlier, but he's still only 1 lap down in 19th, so if there's more accidents, he could get himself back into this thing. Pace car rolls off lap number 71, closing in the last 40 laps. Green flag back in the air at Michigan.
Yeah, and Ashton wasted no time to get underway, and I think the reason he did is that you could see in the distance there the guys just caught up, and mostly single file here too on this restart.
Oh, Lakatos and these are all 24 car is a lap down, and really the scoring is all over the place because the way these guys ended up getting caught mid-sequence here. So the 24 car who's sitting in 4th in line is currently 1 lap down in 13th place. Jordan Ashland, Adam Cabot, Casey Lakatos, these front 3 are all running together on the same lap, but that 24 car is well out of place. And Zach Halpern's in 4th, but he's behind a bunch of other race cars at the moment.
Yeah, you can see there's a lot of lap cars in there. Also, Jeff Wright pushing 24 Bailey Turner right now. Both those guys a lap down and actually fighting for the free pass.
And now that the cars have gotten themselves spread out, the cautions are probably a lot harder to get at this point. We're under 40 to go, so you really have to hope that a caution comes out quick so you have time to stitch your race back together. There's Brennan Gagnon in the 83. He's 15th 1 lap down, so he's also not directly in this fight. A Trejo as well. Where's the rest of the lead lap cars here? Here's Austin Carpe in 8th. That's Chris Partman. This is a battle.
I think they were all getting, I think a lot of them were getting the wave around, so they started behind all the lap cars, so they got to work through a lot of traffic to get up to the front.
1, 2, 3. Actually, it's 1, 2, and 13 and 14.
Yeah.
But this is good for Ashland and Cabot. They just have some space to themselves now to build a gap back to 3rd place. Casey Lakatos, who is back here dealing with Gagnon and Eddie Trejo, and it's about a half a second. Make it 8/10 of a second now on the back straight.
He's actually Lakatos is about to fight with Stravato in behind there. You see that Caterpillar car fighting for 3rd place.
Alec Martinez down on the apron again. He's been staying well out of the way, so good on Alec to not impact anybody else's race after his was so rudely interrupted early in the going. But Ashland and Cabot sitting pretty right now. They're actually growing that gap back to Lakatos and Stravato in 4th. How about AJ, by the way? Remember, at the beginning of the season, he was in the number 9 car and just luck not going his way, but he changed back to that old number 33 that he ran in the previous season, and things have just been turning around. He hasn't had spectacular runs in terms of the finishing order, but he has certainly been running a lot better mid-race.
Yeah, they see him blow on by Lakatos for 3rd place, and I'm trying to get a run on Eddie Trejo just to get around him and try to work his way up towards the leaders. I think he's been, honestly, one of the fastest cars since the restart.
He has been 38.9 last time through. Is about 2/10 quicker than our leaders. Lap number 75 of 110. 35 to go next time by. And in terms of the drivers that pit on this last caution, Finney about 5 to 6 laps short.
Yeah,
in theory, but we'll see.
I was gonna say these guys
can
go about 33 laps, it seemed, on fuel. So yeah, they're going to be a little bit short. So I don't think these guys are going to save it. I think if anything, they're going to pit. But the question is going to be, when do you pit? Do you pit with halfway? Do you try to run the sequence out just in case you get a caution?
I would bank on this probably going green a lot of the way here. Look at, that's battle for 5th. Alex
Oh,
Bell
do
blocked
you?
on the 9 car. Wow.
Do you bank it on going green?
Well, not when you throw a block from 5 lanes away, but hey, he made it work. But Carpe took none of it. He's going to go to the outside lane and just drive right around the 15 car. So that 9 is on the move. And compared to the debut of Cody Wright in the 38, who was in 31st, 78 laps down, Carpe is certainly making a lot more waves in the early going. I know the 38 won the pole, but everything, as soon as the green flag dropped, the whole race just right down the drain.
Speaking of guys, his race went down the drain. Robert Gava, his engine finally blew up. He was riding around, and he's going to retire that car 22nd.
It's a disappointing night. I got caught up collision earlier. How about this? These guys just pushing and shoving, but I think they're just trying to build a gap to third because they should try to do that, because guess who's chasing them down? AJ Stravato in 33. He's been the quickest car on the track the last couple laps, and it's not been by very little. He's really eating into their lead.
And so Stravato catching up to the leaders. And one of the fastest cars on the track at the moment. Now, question is, will he be able to get past these lap cars and up to the guys? Because these lap cars, they're not fighting for anything. They're fighting for A, that free pass spot, and B, they're also trying to fight, if they can, to get back on the lead lap manually. So they're fighting their own battle here. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic towards the front of the field.
And there's just a lot of different agendas here at the moment. They close in on 30 to go.
Yeah, if you look at that first string of cars, you see lead lap, then lap car, then a lead lap car, then lap car, and then another lead lap car. So they're all mixed and spread out.
This is because when that pit sequence happened, we didn't have enough laps after it to get everyone sorted back out where they belong. So when that caution flew, contact between the 22 and the 13, that kind of threw everybody up in the air in terms of where they were on the racetracks. Yeah, so about half the field's a lap down right now and probably shouldn't be. How about the 15 of Alex Bell and Casey Lacatis? These guys have been going at it, and Jeremiah Vincent has joined the club now. And Jeremiah was a lot stronger at the beginning of the race. Doesn't have a lot of damage on that car. Not sure what slowed him down, but just hasn't quite had the pace that he had in the first 50 or so laps.
Yeah, one guy in the car that also seems to be affected by the damage is that 13 Yela Hinton. He's back in 11th. He's not too far off the pace, but off the pace nonetheless.
The last time through, he was 9/10 slower than the leader, so looks like that is pretty significantly affecting his performance, but not as much as it could, which is a good thing. Here's a battle for 4th, Tim Downey Jr. and Austin Carpe. How about this for the 25 and Tim Downey? Again, has had pretty decent runs, hasn't had the finishes to show for it. And if things finish right now, this would be a solid top 5 for him.
It looks like up in the front, they've really sorted themselves out here, pretty much single file exclusively. Again, just trying to tick off the last single lap cars to figure it out, just right in behind and see what happens.
Abbott's going defensive, or actually is he to the inside of the... Oh, he's right alongside. It's a bad angle here. Off into turn 3, Cabot's going to take that spot away, but the more they battle, the closer that 33 is going to reel them in here. So they have to keep an eye on that Caterpillar car that's hunting them down.
Yep, and these guys battling it out there. You see Bailey Turner diving to the inside. He's going to pull along all the lap cars there. You see on the inside Chris Garrett making a pass on Jeff Wright. And they are also still fighting for positions. 13 on back.
Boy.
Whoa.
These are all lap down cars fighting to get around. And look at the 83,
Whoa.
the run he's got. He's going to come, maybe give a big shove to the 27. Not quite as big. He backed off of it and to not get into the back of him. But Rizal Martinez and Mark Emerson both slow, pulling down to the apron. And Emerson really didn't need that. That's one of those situations where you don't lift because you had a prior instance with the driver, but you should have because you're leading the point standings and really can't afford to have bad days like this.
Yeah, that put him all the way back in 21st, where he might end up finishing because it doesn't look like his situation is getting any better as he goes another lap down.
Oh boy! You really didn't need a bad night like this, and when it's self-inflicted like that, it's got to sting. I mean, you didn't need to put yourself in this position, and come championship weekend, you're going to look back at races like this and go, why'd I do that?
Yeah, well, at the moment, he does have a pretty solid points lead.
Well, you do that a lot, you're not going to have it, so you have to be conservative when you got those leads. You can't be throwing them away that easily. You got to use your points lead to your advantage, not just as a mulligan. And look at Chris Garrett. I really wish he wasn't stuck a lap down because he's been putting on a show tonight. Remember last season, his first race, he finished 3rd at Las Vegas? I mean, this guy is super talented. Really hasn't had the finishes he deserves. Now he's middle 3 wide here, trying to get his lap back and try to stay ahead of that 24-car returner to get that free pass.
See, that 3 wide shot is very misleading considering only 3 cars in the shot are on the lead lap.
And look who's joined the club. The 33 Estravato is back in the game. The top 3 now separated by only 0.2 of a second.
Estravato slowly working his way through. Did a great job doing so. You see Chris Garrett got a great run in the 83. Almost going to door him off the corner.
Now Ashland shoving the 77. Ooh, Estravato in the fence. A slight scrape there. 4 wide for a moment. Now they're 3 again. And Turner, Garrett, and Gagnon off into turn 1. Plenty of room given there, but now the top 3 all together on the lead lap.
Interesting how that actually sorted out. So Estravato got through all of them, and now he's going to try to set his sights on the leaders.
He's got to be a bit defensive here because it looks like the 57 and Garrett wants to get back by the 33, but Estravato really doesn't need this interference right now. If he wants to go up and get this lead, he's quicker right now, but you're running out of laps. You're about down to 25, about a lap and a half here. So we're getting down to crunch time, about 17 minutes of racing remaining, so Estravato's got to use all those tires to his advantage. And the last thing he needs is Chris Garrett trying to get his lap back, but in all fairness, Chris needs to do that if he wants to have any shot of winning this race if a caution were to come out. For the lead.
Yeah, but National giving him a bump. And I wonder if Estravato was just kind of hanging out at the moment. Looks like he's not trying to interfere with this because he strung out a little bit back.
I think he's just playing defense right now. I mean, I liken it to Dale Earnhardt in the 01 500 blocking for his teammates, although he would much rather be leading these guys. No alliance is here.
Looking out back, so where's the next car? Alex Bell.
Alex Bell is
right there.
Here. So he's actually closing on this battle as well. But for the lead, it just got a lot more interesting up top. Chris Garrett is now splitting those front 3 leaders. Exactly what Estravato does not need.
Yeah, I know. I can imagine as a lead lap car, it's very annoying.
Well, again, it's not like Chris Garrett's back here because he's slow. He's not.
Yeah.
It's just the way that things worked out. So while this is frustrating for Estravato, it's also nothing that Chris Garrett's doing wrong. And Garrett's actually working over the 27 car here as well. So he's really just on his own agenda. Oh, contact with the 27.
Oh, boy.
That was really close.
Yeah, that could have easily been a wreck and taken a lot of the guys in this pack here.
Clearly 6 cars all grouped together. Cabot continues to lead, and coming off a win at Richmond a week ago, the confidence level sky high at the moment. Whoa, we got a one loose out of turn 2.
I think that's right.
It was Jeff Wright in the 48. He's going to get it collected. Now Estravato looking up the racetrack. Bailey Turner and Gagnon have gotten their way. This is all back mixed up again how it was before, and now 57 is back in the lead lap, if only for a moment, as Cabot tries to keep him stuck down there.
Yeah, and the thing for Garrett is he can try all he wants, but he's not going to be able to break away. And you see Ashton give a huge sub to Cabot on the outside.
Bailey Turner runs right up to the rear bumper of Ashland through 1 and 2.
Yeah, these guys are racing in really close proximity right now. If one person makes a mistake, they're all going to wreck. And also, Alex Bell is caught up to this pack, so top 4 are all in this lead pack here.
Oh, it's hard to figure out who's who at the moment. They're so close together. The 27 and 57 almost get together again. These guys are not racing very friendly with each other.
Oh, yeah, I don't think Ashton's too happy with him with Garrett getting into him on the straightaway. Let's try to show his displeasure.
Closing in on 20 laps to go here at Michigan. It's been a wild one after a slow start. A bunch of yellows marring the beginning of this race, but since then, it's so much like Kansas was, but just so much more exciting after that.
Oh, and here comes Bailey Turner looking up the middle.
Oh, 3 wide for a moment.
Yeah. And he's gonna,
He wiggles out of turn 2.
And he's gonna back out of it there. So you see him back out there. You see Estravato and Bell now about to have a battle for 3rd place by themselves. 4 lap cars in between them.
Oh, there's Zach Martinez on the inside. Jordan Ashland, slow contact with the 83.
Oh, and Stravato's going to have to back out of it.
And 4 wide and 3 and 4. The 15. Oh, contact!
Oh.
The 27 gets drilled and spins into the pit lane. Cautions out. And the 27 from the leader down into pit road. He's crashed. What happened there?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's almost like he was trying to come to pit road, but he was right in the middle of the racing line.
I'm guessing he was, but then if he was coming to pit road in a pack like that, I would imagine he would have called it out.
Well, it doesn't matter if you call it out. If you're that slow in the racing line, you're going to get yourself run over.
Well, I think he called it out so people can avoid him on the inside.
He had to be coming to pit road here. Yeah, he was definitely planning on coming. Just stopped right in front. I mean, I'm not sure how much warning he gave. Obviously, we don't have the radio up right now, but even if you call it out, I mean, you stomp on the brakes right in front of a car. There's nothing the 11 car can do. Ashlyn crashed here, and that's going to hurt him big time. We only have 20 laps to go, and if you're Eddie Trejo, I mean, we don't know what the communications were like on the racetrack here, Finian, but this is frustrating for the 11. I know he was already having not a great race, but this is where do you go, you know? Like that. Pit road here, Finian. Final stop of the night. That eliminates the fuel mileage question.
Yeah, I would say these guys had to pretty much think about coming to the pits at least within 3 or so laps, but that eliminates the question. So all these guys are going to be able to be good on fuel. And actually, and you can see a lot of these guys too. A lot of guys that were lapped down, they stayed out. I think they might end up taking the wave around here, but they're going to be short on fuel. So interested in what they're going to do. But race off of pit road, it's going to be Cabot.
Wow, yeah. And Bell gets second place off of pit lane, and it looks like Stravato off into third. But right now, there are a couple drivers that have stayed out on the racetrack, and one of them is Zach Halpern in the 20. Curious to see what the plan is here. Maybe just to lead a lap, but Carpe, I don't know what's going on here, Finian. I mean, maybe you try to stretch it, but you want tires at this point.
Did Ashlyn stay out too? I think Ashlyn might have stayed out.
Yeah, but he was also in the pit lane here, so... Oh, he came to pit road already. Well, he's going to have to serve a drop to the end of the line for probably speeding on pit lane.
That's what, yeah.
So you just get your service and then on down. So. Oh. Well, 20 laps to go here, Finian. It has been pretty crazy, and a lot of our typical front runners have had issues. And really, anybody in the top 10 would be a surprise at the moment. Halpern, Carpe, Cabot, Bell, Travato, Tim Downey Jr., Parkman, Jeremiah Vincent, and Eli Hinton. And you can throw Chris Garrett in there. 48 of Jeff Wright. He's going to stay out and probably get his wave around. But Halpern stays out of the racetrack, as is Carpe. So, Finian, what's the strategy here? I think this would be a horrible idea, but maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of tough to tell. I wasn't able to check what their tire wear was looking at last time before they came in. So I don't.
Oh my! No.
That's definitely not right.
That's because we restarted.
Yeah,
okay.
That's definitely not right.
Ignore that. Not out on the racetrack for 92 laps. So, bye. I would estimate probably 20 to 30.
20, yeah. He came in that on 75 to go, I think. Sorry, on lap 75. So yeah, about 20 solid laps on his tires.
So Carpe looks like he is actually pit recently though. So
yeah.
Actually, the night car's in a great position. Did he must have pit right before that caution happened to get himself in that position. Yeah, because Jordan Ashlyn pit 3 laps ago as well. So I think what happened was Carpe actually pitted.
I think he came in the lap before, probably.
Right before that happened, and so he has just inherited a great position here. And Halpern is not going to go anywhere on this restart when he tries to put the power to the ground. So.
No, yeah. If anything, he has to be a little bit careful because his tires are definitely old. Not 92 laps old, but definitely about 20 laps old, which is pretty old compared to the other guys, considering everyone else has fresh tires on their car.
We should explain for a second why the 27 got a penalty here, Finian. Basically, penalties are done with an automated system. And how this works is if you enter the pit lane too fast or you enter from a non-designated entry zone, aka you come in from the side or from the front of the pits, you will receive a penalty for improper pit entrance or hitting in too fast or exiting too fast. So the thing is that it's a black and white system. There's no checking to see if you had an incident. If you're crashing, you're crashing, you get the penalty. That's it.
Yeah, I think his might have been for pitting under closed pits.
The caution came out before. Either he was going to get a tail end no matter what happened.
Yeah, so.
Whether it was for speeding or for the improper entry or for the pitting under closed pits. Any of those 3 would have been an end of the longest line penalty. But he's going to be at the back of the restart zone here. But that's just how it is. I mean, if you come into pit road at 100 miles an hour, you're going to get yourself black flag.
On the bright side, I mean, he's only going to be stuck back in 13th, which honestly could be a lot worse.
It could be worse, but that car, at least in the rear, is seeing better days, and I don't think that spoiler is going to be producing optimal downforce. Nose is fine, though, so we'll see how it performs. There's cars that are a lot more banged up than that are running out on the track still. Coming back to the restart, 17 laps to go. It's only going to be about 11 and a half minutes of racing remaining. Finita, we've just taken the jar and shook it up, and we're going to dump out a bunch of new names. Who's got it from here on out, you think?
Honestly, again, kind of hard to tell because this really shook up the running order as they go. Honestly, I say maybe that 9 car because I think that he's shown some signs of greatness earlier in this race. I think he might have a shot. Even the 15 Alex Bell, he was looking really fast on the last run.
I'm going to choose Cabot in that 77. I think he goes 2 weeks in a row, and he's just been solid all night long. He's been involved in a couple incidents, but has kept it up front all night. He's sitting in 3rd for the restart. All he's got to do is beat that 9 car because that 20 is not going to last on those old tires. 17 laps to go, working lap number 93 of 110. Zach Halpern, Adam Cabot on the inside lane, Austin Carpe and Alex Bell on the outside lane. Green flag back in the air and scattering behind him.
Oh, boy. Oh, someone got put on the wall back there.
That was Bailey Turner who tried to go up the outside, and a couple drivers said no thank you and threw that block, but now it's Halpern trying to hold off Adam Cabot and the 9 to Carpe. 3 wide off into turn 1. Alex Bell tries to shoot the middle. Stravato on the inside lane. What about Stravato in the 33? He could get himself up in here.
Oh, and the 9 just got really shuffled out. Carpe just got shuffled out back into 9th. After that restart, you got really shuffled out of line. Now, he gets turned in front of the field, and another caution's going to be out.
And
several
Lakatos
cars
is in that, and
involved.
Ashland gets turned into the fence at the last second. Big hit. That'll be the end of the night for the 27 car. And how about the 9 of Carpe? Had such a promising finish coming and just gets turned.
I'm not sure what happened to him on that restart.
Well, let's go back and look at the wreck first here. This is just probably a matter of too many cars. And he tried to go on the inside of Halpern, and is over, and what happened? Oh, the 57 and 9 just get together and hooks the 50 car around. Of course, Lakatos gets a piece of this as well, unfortunately for him. And then this is where Jordan Ashland, the 25 of Tim Downey Jr. gets a piece of it. Ashland gets tagged at the last second and goes hard into the fence. And again, we talked about it all night. You get your track position lost, you get yourself vulnerable to this kind of accident. Gotta feel bad for Lakatos. Had things going his way tonight. It's tagged. Nothing you can do here. Pick them. Okay, well that shook things up some more here, Finian, and let's go back up to the front. Who's our leader? Adam Cabot is at the top of the board right now. AJ Stravato, Chris Parkman, Alex Bell, and Eli Hinton has worked his way inside the top 5 again. Jeremiah Vincent has made a recovery, and Zach Halpern from 1st to 7th in a lap. I think he's going to come and get tires now, or at least he probably should. I think that would be a smart move.
Oh, let's see. Nope.
He's going to stay out. A couple other drivers, Chris Garrett, and a bunch of other cars come on through.
Yeah, I think pretty much only the guys with damaged cars or cars that are a lap down are coming in. Everyone else looking to stay on the racetrack.
Okay, so now we've shook up the can some more. We brought some of our original names back into the mix. I still pick Cabot. He's leading the race now.
Yeah,
Your 9 car's not doing so hot.
yeah. I would say, well, he got involved. Actually, I was going to see if we could take a look at the restart because I'm just kind of wondering how on earth he lost that many positions on the restart after starting up in 2nd.
Yeah, it was not a great restart for the 9 or for the 20, and it was probably it's a matter of getting caught in the wrong spot here. 15 goes to the inside, and I think he just got stuck behind the 20 potentially here. I mean, yeah, the 20 car just wasn't going anywhere. He just had nowhere to go. And then here the 57. 9 car moves over. The 57 jerks right there, and it's just by a couple inches, Finian. But the 57 did move over, so I would put that on Chris Garrett. But I mean, it was only a couple inches. There's just not that much room to play with here. And that's almost aerodynamic suck at that point, pulling you into the car. You can see he was actually turning left, but the car moved back to the right. Take another look at the steering wheel here. Watch the steering wheel. He's going to go right, but he's got the wheel. I wonder if he had damage to that car from before that was making that wheel off center that could have contributed to that collision.
Well, the only damage I think he had before, he's had damage for quite a bit, so maybe, I don't know.
I mean, that wheel is that let's compare with someone that's had
I think that might just be
on the. Either way, take there and a crash. come back to the restart with probably 11 or 12 laps to go. And now at this point, Finian, you got to consider staying out and not worrying about those tires, because if the cautions continue to come, you're going to run out of green flag laps to make your tires work. You're probably better off just taking the track position at this point, I would think.
Yeah, we'll see how this is going to work. I doubt we're going to see anyone else on pit road. I think at this point, yeah. Especially if we get another restart, it's going to be under 10 to go. At that point, I don't think the tires are going to matter too much. So, yeah, I think these guys are pretty much just up to passing it on the track and just making sure they keep in it. How about Eli Hinton after all is said and done? He shoved out of fifth, but
he's been in 2 wrecks tonight.
And that car is still, I doubt it's still up to speed.
The thing is he's been involved in 2 wrecks, but both wrecks have been significantly less severe than a lot of the other wrecks that have happened. So he's been really lucky that this is something that you often talk about at plate tracks, Finian, is you got to know how to crash.
Yeah.
You got to know how to drive, but you got to know how to crash. And there's a lot of guys, we saw this earlier with Bruce Boyer on the back straightaway, locked up the tires as he's heading towards the inside wall, released the brakes, and the car slid back into the field. So you have to be able to know how to work the brakes, work the steering wheel, to not make things worse than they are. And I think Hinton's done a good job of that tonight, and kept that damage pretty minimal, considering both crashes he had were at pretty high speed.
Yeah, and I think he's still a bit, like I said earlier, I think he's still going to be off the pace, but again, if anything, should at least have a top 15 finish here tonight. Just a matter of where inside he's going to finish, especially considering a lot of the damage that a lot of other cars have here.
Yeah, provided he doesn't crash, he should be inside the top 15. We have 15 cars on the lead lap. The last one of which is Tim Downey Jr., who got a piece of that collision. That car has seen better days, but there's also a lot of other cars that have seen a lot worse days than that thing has. So, by Toyota Camry, it's going to be okay, I think. All right, doubled up for the restart. Cabot chooses the inside lane, and Travato going to be on the outside. So which line is stronger here, Finian? I'm going to take the outside lane, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think definitely that outside lane. The inside lane is pretty much only good for turns 1 and 2, but after that, you want to be on that outside lane with the runs out the corner. I think we're going to potentially see a lot of guys fight for that and cut each other off. So I think we're definitely with a high chance of seeing another caution come out.
I don't know if it would be a popular thing, Finian, but I was just thinking these guys talking about in-race audio. I mean, we can mute our mic and sneak in the channels and listen. We have to be careful about when we do it, but that's actually a pretty good idea. So I think we'll consider sneaking into team channels in the future just to listen to what's going on. And we only can do it in real time. We can't do any pre-recorded things, but something to consider. All right, Finian, 12 laps to go. It's 24 miles to the end of this thing. It's just under a marathon. It's been a marathon so far tonight. 12 to go. Cabot leads them down. Green flag back in the air. The Geico restart zone. They're firing off. And Cabot gets a great restart. Stravato and Alex Bell did not get as good of a run, but maybe they'll power on through 1 and 2 and carry the momentum onto the back straight.
Yeah, you see a lot of guys fighting it out towards the back. I'm wondering what Parkman's got in that car. I haven't seen a lot of him. There you see Jeremiah Vincent splitting the middle 3 wide, trying to move his way up to the front.
And Vincent's car is in really good shape. I wonder if he's got anything left. He's going to choose the inside lane. Now he's going to go for the middle, up the inside. And there's the 13 and the 19 working together. And then the 33 and the 15 on the outside. But look at Vincent up the middle, trying to make something work. Inches on either side. He's going to go right up the inside of the 77. Take that spot away. Goes for third. Now looking for second.
Yeah, he's got Parkman up ahead, so they're going to try to work together. Eli Hinton, you can see him start to struggle without a car in front of him. Vincent gets into Parkman.
No!
He's going to save it. He's going to continue on going. Green flag still in the air.
77 takes the lead back away.
And how about Jeff Wright? He was a lap down about 10, 15 laps ago. Here he is on the lead lap fighting up here for the win.
How they didn't just destroy the entire field, I don't understand it. But Alex Bell, Chris Parkman, drag racing on the back straightaway. Stravato's dropped some spots. He's trying to get some spots back. Cabot leads. Eli Hinton with that destroyed car running in second. Bell to the inside now, chasing down to 77.
Bell also trying to move himself up to the front. We saw him working his way up, as well as Stravato on that last run, trying to get to the lead.
Here he comes to the inside.
With an aggressive move.
With help from the 8 car of Jeremiah Vincent, they go all the way down to the grass, and they're going to try to take the lead away. And look at Stravato. He noses ahead down into turn 1. Hinton's trying to find a way around, but he gets jacked up behind the 77. Stravato to the lead, but I don't think he's going to be able to clear the 77 out of turn 2. Cabot powers back around the outside. 3 wide for third behind him.
Oh, 4 wide for third. Here comes Jeff Wright on the inside. They're going to be 4 wide entering 3 unless they sort each other out. And there you see.
Got a bad line. He can't make that work, but somehow they don't wad it up.
And also there in behind them, Brandon Gagnon in the 83. He's trying to move up to the front here.
Alex Bell, a great run to the back of the 77. 9 laps to go here at Michigan. 18 miles, side by side for the lead.
Side by side is head up into the corner. I think Alex Bell might be able to get ahead.
Jeremiah Vincent is in a spectacular spot here. If he can just carry some momentum. The 15 car slow out of turn 2. Here comes the 77 to the inside. Jerks it hard left out of the inside. Here he comes up. And he's got help from the 33 as Travato and Eli Hinton pushing the 8 car to try to get to the outside of Alex Bell. Nowhere to go. They have to wait for it.
Oh, and 3 wide in there behind there. You see Parkman starting to fall off. I think that damage into the wall. I think that's starting to hurt his car. He's starting to fall to the back.
Travato now with a big run to the outside of Cabot. He's going to follow Alex Bell on through to second.
Oh, Vincent in the wall!
No! Turns across the racetrack. He's going to slam the inside fence. Caution out with 8 to go. And there's Jeff Wright spinning backwards across the racetrack and back into the field. Collects Gagnon, Emerson, and Jeremiah Vincent all over again.
Oh.
We're going to have a shootout, boys.
Yeah, we're going to have a shootout. What I'm more interested in is what on earth caused that, because from my initial viewing that, it just looked like Vincent hit the wall by himself. I'm not sure if he had help.
Oh, yeah, no, he hit the fence and then came back across the race. Look at this. Driver's side impact. Huge collision into the wall. And I think he just hit the wall here, Finney. It bounced off, and then, yeah, he just bounced off, turns right across the 13's nose. Oh. Man. But then the 48, we talked about knowing how to crash.
Yeah, at that point, I think he's just too pissed off to get on the brakes.
I don't blame him, but that's... Eli Hinton's on board here, and really nothing Hinton is going to be able to do here.
He was just a passenger here. He was just riding in behind Vincent, trying to just hang on for a position here.
Yeah, I mean...
And was doing a great job, too, in 5th.
Yeah, actually, the 8 car followed the 33 into the wall. They both hit the fence. And yeah, we got to ride on board with the 83 here as well. Be quite the view. He gets collected here, and then he gets it woed on down and saves the rest of it, and then... Whee!
And John Cena out of nowhere.
Cena.
Also, apparently, we're told to get a look at the 50 car.
Hottest.
He's actually in 5th right now.
Here's a look from on board.
And I'm guessing he's in 5th because he avoided this mess.
Ooh, right through the middle.
Got lucky there.
So I'm going to go on board with the 8 car of Jeremiah Vincent one more time, and I want to get a look. He had actually followed the 33 into the fence. So watch AJ Stravato in front of him here. Just hit the wall. I mean, we've seen this.
Actually, yeah, I was just looking at the way the wall. If you can try to get a slow motion.
Yes.
On top of the car, there's actually. Look at the wall.
Does it come out a little bit?
It looked like it caved in just a little bit, so I don't know. I don't know if that cut them off or what cut them off, but yeah.
Trying to see if we can get a better look at. I don't really think the wall juts out there. I mean, they're already on a trajectory to hit it here. Just do it here, man. Quite sure what happened, but there is a slow motion. 13 car gets wrapped up in it. 8. Excuse me, the 83. Turned upside down.
A tough break for those 3 guys there.
That's a spectacular shot there, isn't it? All unravels for Magnan as the 8 spins back across the racetrack. Dragging dirt dust right up in front of the 83 and just surprises him. Halpern jams on the brakes. Look at Halpern miss that at the last second. All right. Okay, let's jump back live here, Finian, and catch everybody back up. It's going to be a restart, I would assume, with 4 or 3 laps to go. And your running order on the left-hand side of your screen. Alex Bell leads us now. Stravato in 2nd. Cabot 3rd. Parkman 4th. Lakatos in 5th. What a night he's had.
Yeah.
He's running so solidly. Garrett, Turner, Butler, Halpern, and Hinton round out your top 10. We have a lot less cars than we started the night with.
Oh, yes, indeed. And a lot of them are also on pit roads getting damaged or just completely out of it at the moment.
Okay, so it's going to be a restart with 3 to go. And that means that if the caution comes out,
Race over.
Race over. So if I'm Alex Bell right now, I'm loving where I'm at. If I'm Stravato, you better be hoping that Parkman is ready to go when that green flag flies. Closing in here, we've been streaming for, looks like, about an hour and 52 minutes, with 46 hours of view time by you folks at home. That's almost 2 full days of interaction watching SimTV just tonight alone. So thank you for your support. If you haven't hit that red subscribe button, you should do it now. If you want to watch more action, tomorrow night we go to Texas with the 3-wide YNZR Graphics Unreal Tour. That's with the Camping World trucks. Then Sunday night we head to Las Vegas for Cup Series action with the Race Kings Cup Series. Both of those races will be 9:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then Monday, or actually that is Monday. So Sunday is trucks, Monday is Cup. Then Tuesday, Fuel Host Venom Cup Series Fuel Finals from Rockingham Speedway, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday, we're off. Thursday is Scars Ferrari Challenge. Actually, no, it's off week for Thursday this week, I believe. And then Friday is Nürburgring 24 hours, I think, on.
Oh, I think so.
And then Friday, we're back BRL next week. So 1 degree in here, Finney. It's going to be a 3-lap shootout. Alex Bell, Stravato, Cabot, Parkman, Licata, your top 5. All right, you have any revised picks? I'm still going. Okay. I'm going to revise mine to pick Bell now because that's an obvious pick, and I don't want you to have it.
Well, I already picked them before.
Well, I don't care. I'm picking him too.
All right. Well, I guess I'll add Stravato in the mix might as well. He's on the outside.
Right, you're going to lose.
I mean, you say that, but I think he's been dying to get a win here. He's with a prime opportunity. He's got 3 laps to try to get it done. Like we said, we saw him switch his number to the 33. He's had pretty good luck ever since. And there he is up here on the front row coming to a restart, 3 laps to go.
Well, the luck has changed, but not so much in the finishing category necessarily for Stravato. It's been, hasn't really, I mean, his in-race performance has improved a lot, but just the finishes haven't quite been there, and at least not a victory yet. He's close, and he wants it. He's hungry, but I don't think he's going to have be able to get a very good restart here because he's got to wait for that 15 to launch. So the inside lane, probably the stronger one to choose from for this restart, but don't count out Parkman. And Licata is back here. He's been lurking all night. If something happens, 50 car to get through. And Elliot Butler's still in this mix as well. He's been torn for about half a dozen times tonight. All right, 3 laps. It's 6 miles. Wegmans is farther away than this is right now. Green flag back in the air. 6 miles left. 3 to go here at Michigan.
And AC Bell got a great start. Servato trying to clear himself to the bottom, but Cabot's there and trying to get a run. And now Bell leaves him, and Cabot's the only one on the inside lane.
These next 15 seconds are so important. If a caution comes out, the 15 slips. If a caution comes out, here the race is over, but he blocks the inside lane. Cabot unable to get a run, but Parkman trying to push the 77. Now the 15's got to play. Dale Earnhardt blocked the runs on the back straight.
Yeah, he's going to try. He's going to there block with Cabot to the inside. There he goes up trying to defend the middle lane.
3 wide.
Here comes Cabot on through.
Cabot's going to have to try to clear this 15 car because Bell's going to have a heck of a run out of turn 4. He's going to re-clear the 77. Cabot goes to block. There's Chris Garrett. Chris Garrett to the inside. Where did he come from? He was a lap down a little while ago. He's in second place. 4 miles left. 2 laps to go.
4 wide still as they head off the one. Stravato going to try to clear. There it is. There's the wreck.
Oh, big crash.
And Alex Bell is going to win here at Michigan.
Alex Bell's first victory of the season.
And
first
Eli
victory.
Hinton finished, I think, 3rd or 4th out of all that.
Nope, he's dropping back here.
Wait.
Alex Bell, though, his first victory in Outsider Racing League competition, I believe.
Yeah.
And his first win of the season. He's going to come on through and take the white and yellow flags. And what a finish this would be for him. He was there all night. Look at that car. Didn't have a scratch on it here, Finney. Maybe on the right front. But something to be said. Got Avengers on that car, Finney. Well, he avenged a lot of the poor finishes he's had in the past. For the win tonight, he's already, look how fast he's catching the pace car. He's excited. We'll go back and watch that replay here in a second as soon as he comes across the line.
Yeah, still waiting for guys to sort each other out. But how about Licata? He's going to finish in 5th.
Yeah, so a lot of these things are kind of dependent on the drivers who were involved being able to maintain their position. And Chris Garrett, he had a chance to win that race, got hooked into the fence. It all went downhill from there. Hopefully that car will make it back around. So half a mile left for Alex Bell to complete this, and Cabot scored in second place in 15 to 77 and 33. All three of these cars were strong all night, but Butler, Lakatos, Turner, that car is missing its front clip, and he's running sixth.
Yeah, he was going through the grass at one point without notice of that car. He's going to finish in sixth, as he said, and even Halpern, too, behind, has been up and down throughout most of the night. He's going to be in seventh.
This year, we're 8 races in, and it's the first one for Alex Bell. It's the first one in Outsider Racing League competition. Checkered flag flies, and Alex Bell wins at Michigan. Cabot, a solid second place. It's been a good couple weeks for that 77 Glycoflex team. AJ Stravato comes on home in third. Butler fourth. Lakatos inside the top 5. A good run for him. I don't think enough can be said at Alex Bell's performance. Was not leading the race all night. Actually led quite few laps in comparison to the rest of the field here, Finian. But look at everyone celebrating with Alex Bell. What a cool moment for him.
Yeah, indeed. Now that car is getting some damage to it.
Yep. There's a especially big bump from Casey Lakatos. Oh, didn't need to pass inspection, I guess. And the celebration's continuing. We're going to go back and watch that crash, so stick around if you want to see that. Alec Martinez giving a congratulatory bump. And I can guarantee you... Oh, wow, the 48 car.
I'm one with the pit road wall.
That's an unfortunate sight to see. But not to dampen the celebration for the 15 of Alex Bell. He's a winner in Outsider Racing League competition and a winner in 2019. A cool moment there for the 15 as he continues. He's going to celebrate this one quite a bit, Finian. I think he'll be, judging by how the other drivers were reacting to that victory, it's going to be a popular one for sure. But, again, Stravato solidly getting himself back inside the top 5 this week. In third, Cabot continues to have good runs. Lakatos, again, just avoiding everything all night and gets himself into fifth.
And Stravato, actually, in the last 3 races, he's not finished lower than 6th. So he's been on a tear as of lately.
Let's take a look at our results. Again, we've gone over them a couple times, but Tim Downey Jr. gets a top 10, as does Jeff Wright. Remember, a couple of those cars were crashed a few laps before. Jeff Wright was backwards sliding across the racetrack.
A lot of those cars were crashed quite a few laps ago.
Alec Martinez, he toughed it out all night and finished the race, but it was 18th. 4 laps down for the 18 of Alec Martinez. So he toughed it out, as did Jordan Ashland, 19th. A Trejo back in 20th. Then there's your list of cars that found the garage area tonight. Stouffer, again, not the way he wanted to end tonight. Joshua Banks, another disappointing finish for him. Cockrell Boyer and Cody Wright all having poor nights as well. So let's go back and take a look at that crash at the finish there, Finney. Obviously, a pretty major one involving the 57 of Chris Garrett. And we'll go back and try to get a look at it here. And really, I thought Chris Garrett was going to have a chance to go and steal this win away. He was flying off into turn number 1. And look from up above here. We're 3 wide, and we're actually 4 wide in this.
Yeah, I think that was Parkman and Garrett were both pinching at. Didn't know that they ended up pinching Cabot in the middle, and Cabot had nowhere to go. So you'll see them merge up here.
Yeah, I think the 19 was leaving space for Stravato.
Yeah, and then Garrett was trying to leave some space so he could take the corner properly. And
I don't think it's anybody's fault here, just running out of space and just not that much room on the racetrack to be trying this. And look at the hit this 57 takes. A horrible collision.
Oh, and Stravato, look at it.
Stravato actually got in it, but saved
it.
What
a drift.
We got to watch on this from on board here. Oh, that's a... Wow! He saw some crazy stuff. And Eli Hinton came flying through this, trying to steal some spots away. Only ended up with an 8th, but he just held the throttle wide open.
It didn't lift.
All right, let's jump the break real quickly. Right back and talk to your winner. Stay with us. Welcome back to Sim TV. Now with 5th place finisher Casey Lakatos. Casey, we just talked about it in the break there that it was quite an eventful night out the windshield of the 50 car, and a great top 5 finish. You dodged about 50 wrecks tonight and got involved in a couple of them as well, but you got to be thrilled with the 5th place finish.
You know, I am thrilled, especially with the night that we had. Just avoiding wrecks, getting into a couple of them. That last one there, I don't know who came off the high line and got into our right side, but we spun around. I'm pretty positive we didn't even hit the wall, so still kept the car pretty clean for what I can say. And to avoid a couple of those other wrecks, to keep it in the top 5, I'm happy as can be. On the other hand, I feel like we had a phenomenal car beyond belief tonight, so it's a little disappointing that we couldn't come up with at least a podium if we would have stayed clean. But
we've noticed that your points position, I think you were 8th or something, or close to that. You're kind of on the bubble here as we look ahead towards the chase, but we noticed that the last couple weeks, every single time we have an early caution, you're staying out and just collecting laps led points. And it just seems to me like that's just such a smart strategy. So is that something you're consciously doing to just just collect points because they're free at the beginning of a race like this? Or is it just a part of some alternative strategy?
really, I like staying towards the back. I think we've talked about this a little bit previously. Recently, I've been a little more aggressive knowing that I am on this bubble. I know we're a little further out still for getting into the chase, but I just want to get out there, at least get the lap led, just so I have the points out of the way, don't have to fight for it later. So I can at least try to stay out of the wrecks a little bit more as the race goes on. So, I mean, just a strategy call. Honestly, who knows if I'm going to be up there at the end. So, I mean, just trying to get what I can early on.
All right, Casey. Hey, it was a great run for you. A 5th place finish, especially considering how the tonight was. That is a victory in my mind for you. So congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys. Thanks, Vinny, and thanks, Kyle.
No problem. Let's talk to 4th place finisher Elliott Butler. And Butler had himself backed into the fence a couple times, none of his doing. But Elliott, I mean, a bunch of wrecks tonight, but you came home in 4th place. I mean, you got to be thrilled with that, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, that was way better than I was ever expecting tonight to finish, so I'm pretty stoked right now.
The package tonight was wild. We saw, drivers 3 and 4 wide, but was there any strategy you approached in terms of where to place your car in terms of being in the front of the field and the midfield, maybe hanging out at the back? Is there any kind of plate race style strategy here, or was it just kind of balls to the wall, go for it the whole night?
I don't really think there was a good spot. It didn't seem to matter where you were. There were people wrecking. I was just pretty much trying to keep the car towards the high side most of the first part of the night, and I was spinning all night. So apparently, what I was doing wasn't working.
Well, it worked out in the end here. So 4th place for you. I know a lot of the other points guys had some trouble. So in terms of the points picture, Elliott, as we look towards the chase, what's the strategy here? Is it? I mean, you got to change anything you're doing, or you think you're doing just fine?
I think I'm okay. I think I just got to focus on consistent finishes. I had a few rough weeks, so got to make sure I'm above that cutoff line, and tonight should help a lot with that.
All right, Elliott. Well, 4th place finish, a solid top 5 for the 16. Thanks for talking to us. We'll see you next week.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the broadcast.
No problem. See you later. All right, 3rd place, AJ Stravato, who drove the number 33 tonight. AJ, I know you were a couple spots short of where you wanted to be. Had it gone green, I think you were sitting in the catbird seat, but caution came out and not able to collect it tonight, but a great run regardless. An eventful night for sure. Walk us through your night.
Yeah, man, that was a mess. First half of the race, literally, I was talking it over with my teammate who couldn't make the race, Angelo. I was just saying this is going to be an act of attrition, and that's what it turned out to be. The first half of the race, we got some good track position when we needed it. Just surviving. A lot of aggressive driving. That's what this package unfortunately promotes, and getting runs. But we did what we could. I'm just really glad at that last lap before everybody wrecked right there. I saw it was 4 wide. I backed out of it, and thank the Lord I did, because that I could have gotten wrecked right there, and I probably wouldn't have been too happy. But I'm proud of Alex for winning, man. Me and him have been talking about turning our luck around here a lot, and he got to win. I'm happy to get 3rd. Good points day. A good point stay for sure, but as we talk about the
finishing positions for you, getting better and better every week. How much of that was the number change? Are you superstitious? I mean, 9 to 33, things seem like be looking up with that double-digit number back on the side of that car.
Hell yeah, man. I'm as superstitious as they come. I'm a baseball player. I played 13 years, so superstition's kind of a big thing. So 33 was my baseball number. I had a lot of luck with it last year, so had to go back with it and run with it, and it served me well. I'm like, I think, a sixth and 2 podiums, 2/3. So I'll take it. Just really want to win, man. I'm getting a little impatient. I know I got the speed to do it. Just it's kind of hard with this package, man. It's just about runs and where you are at the end of the race, but nothing to be too ashamed about, moving up in the points.
Getting closer every week. AJ Shavato, 3rd place tonight. Thanks for talking to us. We'll see you next week.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to Adam Cabot, who finished 2nd tonight after a win a week ago. 2nd place for the 77 now. Adam, I know you got to be pretty happy with that, but 1 spot better would have been a lot sweeter. Talk to us about those last couple laps.
Last couple laps, I was thinking I had a decent chance to go back-to-back wins, which would have been really cool. But I also knew that with these restarts and this package, it's just, I mean, it's just a crapshoot, really. The only smart thing I did all race was just, for the first third, I just hung in the back. I mean, barely even hanging on to the draft, just kind of let what I thought was most of the cautions happen. And it turned out that it was probably only, third of the way through the race was probably only a third of the cautions. But yeah, and then didn't pit to get up to the front. And then just kind of was duking it out with a bunch of guys. And luckily for me, a bunch of good cars got trapped a lap down. So myself and the 27 were trying to work together to kind of keep them behind us and keep them from getting back on the lead lap. And that worked for a while. But then eventually more and more cautions. And I don't know. I mean, not really my type of racing, but I mean, it's fun, but there's really nothing you can do to maintain the lead. You get the lead, someone's just going to come flying by you, but I'm happy for Alex. Good to see him get a win. And yeah, I mean, it's cool to get 2 top 3s in a row. It's certainly good for points. And looking forward to, what are we going to Talladega next week?
Think so. If I haven't looked, let's see. Wait, before you go, let's take a look. Indy Road Course next week, Adam. So I hope you like going right.
Oh, actually, I am looking forward to that. That'll be a nice change of pace from whatever tonight was. But yeah, cool to see Alex win, and we'll try to see if I still know how to.
All right, Adam Cabot, 1st last week, 2nd this week. Thanks for talking to us. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right, and we'll talk to the man of the hour for the first time this year, Alex Bell, the driver number 15 Avengers Camaro tonight in victory lane. Alex, welcome.
Hell yeah.
And I'm sure you're thrilled. A spectacular race, one of the least damaged cars out there, but it was a long one tonight. You toughed it out, got through, and won the race. Walk us through your night.
Man, it was an insane race to start off, man. We were wrecking like every 3 laps, and I was right in the middle of it. So around halfway, I had decided to go to the back and back out of it. And there at the end, the caution flag in the middle of the cycles screwed things up a little bit, but thankfully we didn't get caught a lap down. But after that, man, it was just a mad dash. I had to throw some blocks on some people, and it was awesome, man. It was fun out there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think there was a lot of drivers discussing this package here this week and how it raced so much more like a restrictor plate track. So did you bring any skills from racing at Daytona or Talladega, or was this a completely different animal than something like those races?
To an extent, it's like Daytona and Talladega. I definitely think, blocking here is really like how it is Daytona and Talladega. And it's not so much the pack racing, but it's more so the blocking you have to bring from the plate racing over here to tracks like this.
Alex, it's been a pleasure talking to you. We wish you the best of luck. But next week we go to Indy Road. So how you feeling about making a right turn?
Boy, we're going to try our best. We're going to do that for sure.
All right, Alex Bell, victorious here at Michigan. Enjoy, buddy. We'll see you next week.
Hell yeah, guys. Thank you so much.
No problem. Have a good night. Alex Bell, our winner here this evening, Finny. First time for him. Obviously very excited about that. But the sun setting here on the Michigan Speedway. What a night of racing we had here. Crazy to start with. It didn't end any less crazy, but there was a nice run through the middle of the race there that kind of shook the running order up. The points leaders had poor nights, and some other guys showing their stuff here mid-season as we look towards the chase here in just a couple events. But we go to Indy Road next week, Finny, and that's really going to throw people off. our second road course of the season. Remember, Jeff Wright won Sonoma. Maybe the 48 gets himself back into victory lane.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be dying to get in victory lane. But yeah, we were also talking about guys getting some good finishes and some guys having some pretty poor finishes. But yeah, Servato moves up 5 positions in the standings. He moves up to 12th. Alec Martinez drops all the way back to 10th. He drops 4 spots after ending up in a crash. So yeah, quite a few changes in the points up there.
You mentioned Mark Emerson's big point lead he had. Well, now he's 3rd in the point standing. Yeah. So that's one of those things I talked about earlier, Finney. When you have the choice to lift or to not lift, that was probably one of those situations where he should have lifted because he hurt himself more than he hurt Eli there. So probably a mistake for the 22. Bailey Turner inherits the points lead, so that makes that 2 for 2 here, Finian, in both VRL and ORL. That's going to be it for us tonight. Jeff Wright is sitting in 2nd. He's Mr. Consistency this year, although tonight, a 9th place finish is good enough to hang on to that spot. So we'll see you next week. What's coming up tomorrow night, 9:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is the YNZR Graphics Unreal Tour from Texas Motor Speedway. Monday night is 3-wide Race Kings Cup Series action from Las Vegas. And then Tuesday, Fuel Cup Series Fuel Finals from Rockingham Speedway. That's the next couple days. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great night.